Yeah, check, check it. I'm up early in the morning, yawning. With Opie Anthony, yeah, Jimmy Tranny pointing. Opie like brother man, Ant wants to join the clan. Jimmy on the other hand, he working the other hand.
Turn my headphones up. They're horrible people to say in this old objectionable human beings, and I want you to know unacceptable to my scene, but I'll give it a go. 50 Cent, Larry King, Opie and Anthony show.
I know you're feeling the flow, while Opie's mother hucking, Jim's trying to get blown. And we come to play around and we still in the show. I know you never heard nothing like this before.
How important is your board? Bored you'll never be, and don't worry about getting shot when you're with Anthony. Oh yeah, on the edge of your chair. Cause you really want to hear Opie, Anthony, and Jimmy. Just keep it right here.
It's the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah, the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah, check it. It's the Opie and Anthony show. Yeah.
It's the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah, 50. Yeah, now Mike Tyson up in this bitch. It's the Opie and Anthony show. Booga, booga.
Enough of this palaver. Let's get this show on the road.
Friday. Good morning, everyone.
TGIF, everybody.
Yeah.
TGIF.
Yeah.
When?
Where's the plane?
Oh, my God.
Me and Anthony were having a little discussion before the show.
I'm on high alert.
You're creeping me out.
I'm on high alert. I honestly think we are looking at a horrible delivery system for a weapon. I really think this plane is in some bad people's hands right now and is going to be used for something terrible.
Like a nuke or something.
A dirty bomb. Imagine a 777 loaded with nerve gas, old surplus bombs. It could do more damage than 9/11, that's for sure.
And, of course, we would be the number one target.
Could you imagine the Freedom Tower being taken out? It's like, look, you're not safe. You can't ever be safe.
Yeah.
The problem is the way this thing went off course and the transponders, and there was a couple of them on board.
Right.
And I read they were shut down sequentially.
14 minutes apart.
14 minutes apart.
What is the transponders? What do they do, first of all?
It lets everybody that's tracking aircraft in the world know what plane it is, what type of plane it is, what company owns it.
So there should be a rule that you're not allowed to turn those off ever.
Well, I think you're not supposed to turn them off.
But they were turned off 14 minutes apart, two of them.
Turned off. No wreckage has washed up. Now, after a week, something, a life jacket, a panel, foam rubber, anything has always washed up on shore somewhere when there's been a crash at sea. There's always been something.
Hold on. What if the crash is in the middle of the Indian Ocean, though? Wouldn't that take a little more time?
It might. But, again, why would you fly to the middle of the Indian Ocean before ditching the plane?
Well, if everyone was, if we had a Payne Stewart situation.
It's not looking like that.
Or if we had a pilot that didn't feel like living anymore.
It was too calculated from the time that they lost track of it till the potential of how far it could have gone. There's too much that could have gone on, that was going on. The shutdown of the transponders. I don't know. Could you imagine a terrorist organization getting a hold of a fucking airliner?
Here's my thing, too. How far away is by like Indonesia?
Yeah.
So it's really
they already said
far from here.
They already said they could make it to Pakistan with the fuel they had.
Yeah. Yep. And there's plenty of other islands, remote places that if you're a terrorist organization, Al-Qaeda, whatever, that hasn't done anything major since 9/11, but they're planning. They plan things. I honestly think, like, the United States ought to start doing some 24/7 patrols of the east and west coast with the air defenses.
Well, the thing that caught us off guard on 9/11 was there were planes that left Newark
You're right.
Airport and Boston.
Yeah.
So there's no time to react. It's kind of hard to fly a plane from here from Pakistan.
It's not.
Without the military picking it up?
Without it, no. I was telling Opie the same thing. During 9/11, we all had this sense that you can't just fly a plane into a building or, oh my God, the Pentagon, there's got to be anti-aircraft weapons. We all thought there was something in place to stop that. Unless the transponder on a plane is on, you can't identify it as even a plane with just radar. And if it's flying low, it's even harder. It could turn up as a flock of birds or a small plane or nothing at all. Without that transponder, that's the rules of the air are you have your transponder on. That identifies your plane as to what it is, how big it is, what type of plane, the company that it's flying, the flight number, all that shit is told to the people through the transponders. You shut those off, you can't track everything that's in the air just on radar. So is it possible to intercept it and shoot it down? Or of course it is. But is it a definite? No. Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Although, would it be shot down? Now, if there's, let's just say, okay, to go with Anthony's theory, let's say that you're right. And let's say that those people are still alive. And they're told, they don't know the whole world's looking for them because they have no communication.
Boy.
Maybe they say, we are negotiating for your release. And then one day they say, we've negotiated your release. Get on the plane.
Yeah.
And they don't know that the entire fucking bottom of it has been loaded.
Oh, my God.
Now that plane can't be shot down because the whole world knows there's 200 people on it.
You'd have to shoot down 200 people. Imagine that call. Imagine making that call. Hey, we got to fucking just incinerate you guys because... And think about it with nuclear material, not an atomic bomb, but nuclear material crashing in, all that dust we saw on 9/11. Could you imagine that being irradiated and blowing over a city like New York? It's horrifying to think that this is now not something that is just to be laughed at. Is it definite? Again, no. But it's not just something now to be oh, you crazy conspiracy guy.
Right.
This should be like one of the number one things that crosses the president's desk in the morning because it's a viable threat to this country.
You're creeping everyone out, man.
I know, but it should be looked at. We should do patrols like we used to with the Soviet Union, the old Eagle and the Bear patrols, 24/7 up and down the east and west coast.
How about the plane is just in the bottom? It's at the bottom of the ocean.
Could be, but again.
What about the black box?
Always shows up. There's been no pinging off a black box.
Could that mean that it's at the bottom of the ocean?
It could, but again, no wreckage, no savages on some fucking little island saying, I saw smoke one day, we heard a bang. No sign of a crash has turned up, and every single crash that there's ever been in modern aviation history, something turns up. A fucking piece of foam rubber, a panel off of the galley, something.
I believe, though, we're constantly looking. You know, at 9/11, we were caught with our pants down, as they say.
Right.
But now I think we're much more aware
but
of,
I mean, have you heard
of delivery systems and other things that could be done.
Have you heard anyone from any administration saying, hey, not to panic anyone, but we are keeping tabs?
I'm sure they're doing some stuff they don't want to tell anybody. You would assume that, right?
You would assume.
And it doesn't help that Malaysia is a third world country,
and they
don't have their shit together.
That plane's painted all nice. Don't let it fucking trick you.
Though, the paint job is beautiful.
Exactly. Don't let it trick you that this country knows what the fuck they're doing or isn't corrupt enough and poor enough to want to take maybe some of that huge Muslim Arab money.
So you mean maybe one of the pilots, even if he wasn't radicalized,
in on it, right?
Oh, we were discussing that. How easy would it be to just show up at one of these pilots' residencies and just have a talk with them?
Say, hey man, how about we behead your whole fucking family, or
you could join our side,
or you let the guy in first class fucking come up front during the flight,
right?
Or you just take it here.
Or you
take it here. They would probably,
I would assume that would be a possibility.
There's so many possibilities.
You could talk maybe one pilot in the world to,
It's horrifying.
But the whole fucking, maybe the plane, if the phones are taking off everybody on the plane.
Right.
And they tell them, look, you're being taken hostage. We're not going to crash the planes. This is not 9/11. We're taking your phone. And
you're at 35,000 feet. You're not getting a signal, first of all.
Right.
That's a great time to fucking collect up everybody's communication devices. And now you're a hostage with no recourse. It's a horrifying prospect that I think really ought to be starting to be looked into.
Very good question. Why is the pilot able to turn off the transponder if it's that important?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, yeah,
why would there ever be a reason to turn that thing off?
There's always been this trust of the pilots that they're not doing anything bad. They're to be trusted. And, obviously, there's also other things on there, like breakers. Everything has a breaker on it. That if, let's say, there was a problem with the transponder, that all of a sudden a warning light comes on that says there's a short, and there's a potential hazard.
Right.
The pilot needs that ability to shut that system down.
Right.
It's
14 minutes apart is a little freaky.
It is freaky. That means that somebody changed that course of that plane. And it wasn't one of those situations of decompression or everybody being knocked out.
Or did they turn off on their own because of something going on in that plane?
A major failure.
Yeah, major
maybe, but
failure.
I mean, a lot of aviation experts and pilots themselves are saying this looks like a deliberate act.
Oh, my God.
Of shutting these systems down.
Then why 14 minutes apart? Sorry, why 14 minutes apart? Why do you tip your hand like that instead of just doing them together?
I don't know.
Or maybe the pilot wanted to commit suicide. And he just didn't want people to know where that plane was.
Again, wreckage.
And what he was up to.
Wreckage,
but in the middle of the Indian Ocean, I'm thinking.
Like I said, it always turns
I'm holding
up.
out a little hope.
A week later, something washes up.
That part of it is crazy. You would assume somebody would have saw something.
A bloated body somewhere on some beach somewhere, a fucking piece, something that would have... There's a lot of shit that floats on a plane.
Not if it's 2,000 miles out. If it did have a mechanical failure, and if they dig one in the middle of the Indian Ocean or wherever it was, if it's 1,800 miles... 90 miles, yeah, but 1,800 miles, something might not necessarily have washed up yet.
Yeah, message in a bottle. Sometimes those take, 20, 30 years.
Yeah, that's true, but a little bottle's a little smaller than a fucking plane. It's scary. It's a scary prospect that I just think people ought to be directing a little more attention to at this point, because it's a dangerous situation. Imagine a terrorist organization having a delivery system that could reach this country at will. It's scary.
Yeah,
that's a missile. It's like, hey, you have a guided fucking missile now.
Right.
Now you just got to load it up with something dangerous and fly it into the fucking Freedom Tower, Manhattan.
I think you should have left your paranoia at home. You're freaking everyone out.
I know.
Brian in Charlotte. What's up, Brian?
Hey, let me tell you, if Tony's wrong on this one, we're going to see this fucking plot at the Oscar next year, because that's unbelievably
amazing.
Crazy.
And if it's true, holy shit.
It's crazy scary.
How far of a flight is, say, Pakistan, though? Meaning maybe the U.S. is not the target with it.
It might not be, of course.
Because it was maybe the Soviet Union is, or because it was something closer.
Yeah. Moscow, something like that. You're right.
That's a long way to bring a fully loaded 777 without detection.
Yeah.
Because there's always something that can, from Boston, and we almost had the military planes here
maybe
on time.
London. There's plenty of other Western type nations that would be great targets. Obviously, we're the big prize, but
that's a long flight.
It is a long flight, but it's doable, which is very fucking scary.
But to take that chance to go through all this and then go that far hoping to be undetected doesn't seem feasible. That's a long way to go without being detected. And again, on 9/11, no one knew it was happening. It was a complete fucking surprise. Right. The jets almost got here on time from they missed it by a few minutes getting here on time.
But they also had transponders. They enough so they were on long enough where they knew. At that point, they had them on radar and could track them with the transponders off. They knew it was coming. And then after knowing that planes were hijacked, they were able to track them.
We got one thing going for us, though.
Yeah.
Liam Neeson.
Well, that's true.
We do have Liam.
Liam Neeson knows how to deal with these situations.
Yes, he does.
And I am assuming he's on that plane. So he's taking care of business right now.
The plane has been taken. taken.
Did he say that?
Yes. He's like, you're about to be taken.
He did say that in that movie?
In Taken. And then in Taken 2, he goes, me and your mother are going to be taken.
They probably make him say it. He's probably, can I just say it another way? Like, no, it has to be
we're
taken.
Gonna, kidnapped or something. No, it's got to be taken. That's
Movie's
the title
called
of the movie.
Taken.
Taken.
Called Taken.
We're about to be soy sauced head.
Yes, we're about to have California rolls rubbed on our scalp and eaten. We're about to have delicious sushi treats dipped into our scalp.
Yeah.
Oh boy, just find the plane, please.
Anything would help. Like fucking just a panel of cargo door, a piece of the tail.
Passport.
Right. Anything. A passport, you're right. All that luggage, all those things that something, a ship might find, a bump into, it would have washed up on a beach, something. Nothing being found in this day and age is insane.
Well, the Indian Ocean, what does that lead to?
Like, yeah. India.
Just close to Pakistan.
Yeah.
And then what else? Like, how long of a flight is that? Does anybody know, like, a rough idea?
It would have been, see,
They just
the
said-
Andaman Islands, they're thinking, I mean, it's on the course that the plane deviated to.
Well, they're saying it flew toward that island on
toward
purpose.
the island. Yeah, now
On
they're saying
purpose.
on purpose.
Let's see what
Plane
this
there.
guy's saying.
Airplane may have been flying toward your home and that there is a possibility it could have landed there. We know that there's an Indian naval base. We know that they have an airstrip. We know there are other airstrips on the island. Do you know anything about the possibility that a big plane,
We would have known by
777,
now.
landed
Yeah,
anywhere
you think
near
they're
where
not
you live?
training satellites on that fucking island?
There is no such chance that any aircraft of this size can come towards Andaman and Nicobar Islands and land in any island. As of now,
Very hard to
there are
hide a
4
fucking
airstrips,
777
and all of them
from radar. I
are
mean, from a
owned by the Andaman
satellite.
and Nicobar
That was where it
Command,
went. Wow.
which is India's.
They're sure it
only
went
unified
in that direction, right?
command.
At this point?
They're sure
They're pretty-
it
But there are
turned in that
speculations
direction. Whether it
that,
turned
the
again
plane
after they
might
shut
have
everything
come
off, they're not
towards
sure.
Andaman and Nicobar Islands, but the chances are, apart from these 4 airstrips, it cannot land in any other island. And with the kind of surveillance, regular 24-hour surveillance done by the Andaman and Nicobar Command, there are no chances that such a big aircraft coming towards Andaman can be missed.
Okay, so Mr. Giles, let me repeat what you're saying just so we're clear. You're saying you've heard nothing about this, and you would know because there are only a few airstrips. They are under mostly Indian Naval Command, so it would be immediately discovered if a plane of this size were to land there. You've heard nothing like that.
All right, so.
Yes.
If an airstrip was carved out of the jungle somewhere, I mean, if you're a terrorist organization that's going to this extent, you did some pre-planning. Like
Sure.
9/11, obviously, years in advance they were planning things.
Well, there's holes in your plot, according to Tom. Tom in Jersey, go ahead.
Hi, sweeties. I mostly agree with Anthony here, but you got to think, and as wonderful as the government is, that they have to be watching the major terrorist organizations to see if something like this happens.
You'd
and
think.
the activity, what they're doing to see. I mean,
Not to
look,
look.
they would make it to the American soil.
Not to just use this as an excuse to bash the Obama administration, but we all know that the focus on Muslim terrorist groups has really been under Obama. They're not fucking paying attention as much as they should be. For the love of God.
I don't know. Obama's been sending some Predator drones.
Yeah.
I kind of like the fact that he's disappointing every liberal.
The usual suspects, though. I mean, this...
well, you got to think that it's as high profile as this story is, and potential, like you said,
Yeah.
the potential for a terrorist organization, they can't be not watching it. They may not tell us until it's over, but they have to be watching.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I'd like to believe that, but again, I mean, before 9/11, we were all under the impression that this was impossible, could never happen. Remember, you thought there were guys with fucking missile launchers on the roof of the Pentagon and the White House, and, you know, oh, they can't possibly get a plane there. It would be shot down, and then boom, 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 nothing.
Well, I'm sure we've put things in place since 9/11, though, thank God.
Could be.
You would assume,
sure.
right?
You'd assume.
Thank you, Tom.
All right, punching out, boys.
All right, but they're saying there's no chance that plane is on that island.
No chance.
What is it? The Andaman?
Yeah.
The Andaman Island or Islands?
Yeah.
Well, they may have turned it, like if you said, if they turned it off and went one way, maybe 15 minutes later, they come right back around the other.
Right.
If it was that deliberate. But how do they know 15 minutes apart? I guess they can.
They have so much shit that is transmitted from these planes.
But they're also saying that the pilot could have saw that there was a major problem with the aircraft and was trying to turn it all the way around and go back to where it came from,
Then why
and
shut
didn't
off?
make the whole turn for whatever reason.
Why shut the transponders off then?
Is it possible one was turned off and one malfunctioned? Like maybe you said one was a major problem, turned it off, and then the other one malfunctioned.
Possible.
Or whatever the problem was on the plane caused the transponders.
But why didn't he get it?
Maybe it was a fire. Maybe it was, I don't know.
Again, wreckage.
Some kind of electrical fire or something.
Wreckage. No distress signal have been sent.
Yeah, nothing.
I mean, they didn't get any. The pilot didn't get on the horn and start saying, "Hey, we have an emergency up here. We have a fire. We've had rapid decompression. We had nothing." It just.
This plane was taken.
It's really
what
I honestly think this plane was fucking. Whether it's still in one piece, whether it was drilled into, I don't know. But I absolutely, based on what I've heard, and everyone's speculating, but those small pieces of information that these pilots and other aviation experts and the guy that was in charge of the Flight 800 investigation and stuff. I mean, all these people are saying this looks like a deliberate takeover in the cockpit, whether it was the flight crew, whether it was an intruder into the cockpit, they don't know. But it's not looking like something happened up there as far as an accident goes.
Wow.
Frightening.
You have to think the pilot would be
someone has a missile. Someone has a fucking missile.
How do we have fun now?
I don't know.
Well, I love what I don't know. I love looking at a big map that the U.S. is not on, which means we're nowhere near.
Right now, yeah.
They're not sneaking a 777
This
across
way?
the ocean. No.
Yeah, but if they hit Israel or somewhere else, that could cause some.
They could do
some
that.
major problems in this world.
Or I mean, if you're flying,
major fucking problems.
If you're flying, a few hundred feet above the ocean, you're not going to be fucking seen. Just not.
Unless it's a chance sighting by another plane or a chance sighting by a ship or something.
Yeah, but if you're not in,
you're at night.
there are actual fucking lanes that the planes use. You can just fly that fucker. It's doable, is what it is, and that's the scary part. It's not an impossibility.
Did you get all this from your boys at Fox or
Fox News, my friend? No, I was reading the Wall Street Journal articles. A lot of legitimate news outlets. And,
this isn't just
some experts.
Yeah, this isn't just conspiracy sites.
No,
this has hit some of the other places.
False flag operation.
How far is it from Israel? That's a good question. How far?
They could plow right into Israel. And jet fuel isn't hard to come by. It's it's fucking kerosene. It's easy to fucking fuel up a goddamn jet.
So if it's somewhere close, it could just be a full plane load of fuel into something.
Yeah, you can do that.
And if it's far, it could be loaded with weapons.
There's plenty of fucking weapons laying around over there in that area of the world. Fucking all those. Imagine nerve gas, or this could be terrible. Panic, everyone, panic.
Jesus.
Panic.
Yeah, what could be the target over there if it's that far?
Just find wreckage today, please.
I know, right? A little bit of wreckage, and everyone would just go, all right, it fucking crashed.
You see the seriousness of this when you watch the news channels. They're all like, where the hell is this plane?
Where is it? But there isn't enough information to totally run with it and go, hey, there's danger. So they're like, well, it could be. But, I mean, this is going on a long time to not see any piece of this fucking plane in an area where there are a lot of islands, a lot of
the pilot knew there was a major problem and thought his best shot was getting to that Andaman Islands
and shutting off the transponders.
Well, the major problem caused that.
Big thing.
Major problem caused that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, and
I think
announcement.
That's my shot to land
not
this
one
thing.
fucking getting on the radio and saying we're going to try for this island because we have a problem.
Maybe all that was turned off.
Yeah.
By the problem on the plane.
And the engines that they're saying, that signal that is sent from the engines, it's 4 hours of flying. The thing did fly for 4 hours.
Are you sure? Because they're still conflicting.
Malaysia's saying no, but it works like OnStar. The signal comes from the engine, regardless if they pay for the service or not. You have to, if you're American Airlines, you say, all right, I'm going to pay Rolls-Royce for this service. I want to know how long these engines are running, whatever.
Right.
And then you pay, like OnStar. Malaysia, being a third world country, they're not paying for the service. But that doesn't mean the signal isn't still going out and can be looked at. So Malaysia's saying, we don't have any fucking signal from the engines. But meanwhile, Boeing and Rolls-Royce are going, yeah, it flew for 4 fucking more hours.
So this is something that the pilots can't turn off, is this signal?
No, they can't turn that off.
Do you think the Malaysian government or somebody in there is behind it? I mean, is it possible?
I just think they're not competent enough.
Okay.
They're not wealthy enough to have the resources to check this out.
Yeah, maybe they're giving 30 or 40 million for a plane or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's a lot of money for just for the plane alone. They're not subscribing to the old how long of the engine's running thing.
Do you think they kill the pictures or the people or no?
Again, that
scenario,
scenario of having hostages on the plane as it's flying as kind of a, hey, you want to shoot this down, you're still going to kill this many people.
If you're willing to take the plane, you're getting rid of the people immediately.
Or you hold them as hostages for bait.
Hostages, right.
Yeah, they're valuable.
We would have heard something by now if it was a hostage situation.
Not if they're going to use it for something, load up the cargo.
I don't think it's a hostage situation.
Yeah. They might.
I mean, maybe going with your theory, they just wanted the plane, and that was good enough.
That makes sense, though. If that's why a terrorist organization wouldn't have taken credit, though. Like, if that was what it was, that's the only answer to why they don't take credit.
Because they still want to do something with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to
hijacked and landed. Hold on, Fox. Big question mark.
You burn the fuel down. It's light. You can land on a very short runway.
The breaking developments straight ahead.
Boy.
Why would you say straight ahead?
And another developing story involving a plane right here at home.
Terror on the tarmac.
We are evacuating the plane. Oh my God.
It's nothing.
Good find.
Oh my God. The plane is on fire.
It wasn't on fire.
The nose wheel collapsed. On
It was trying to take off when the wheel, right?
Wheel
blew
collapsed
out
on the nose. Yeah.
Oh, was it? I heard it was a flat or whatever.
No,
like
the whole
blowout.
the whole gear kind of collapsed.
Really?
Yeah.
I heard at first it was a blowout.
By the way, you know that story of
as it was trying to
hijacked
take off
is bullshit because it's not the lead story. You don't tease hijacked and landed.
Right.
The missing plane. We'll let you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Coming up at 11.
We'll get back to you with this.
A USS Kid is heading to the Indian Ocean.
Yeah.
Some kid is going to figure this out.
Just some kid.
It's the headline on CNN.
That's some kid.
Oh, you got some smart kids out there.
Yeah. $1 million richer. Oh, wow. That's where Brian is this morning. He's off trying to play the lottery. Hey, I'm Clayton in for Brian this morning. Hope you're doing well. We begin with a Fox News alert this hour because moments ago we learned investigators in India began looking on land now to find that missing airplane, searching hundreds of uninhabited islands.
Oh, boy.
This is new satellite reports prove the plane may have flown an additional 5 hours after it disappeared from radar. See here on the map, this was the last point at which we had contact. Then it turned possibly and went in that direction. The brand new clues also suggest the flight was, in fact, sabotaged. And according to U.S. officials, someone intentionally shut down 2 separate communication systems. That data reporting system at 1:07 a.m. and then another one, the transponder, just a few minutes later at 1:21 a.m., just before that jet turned. Doug Glazader's live in Washington with more of these latest developments, which change by the minute. What can you tell us at this hour?
And Clayton, good morning. We have a lot of new evidence and a lot of old evidence, and you combine it all, and it seems to point to something deliberate here. Let's start with what's new, and it has to do with that engine data that was continually pinged during this flight. And the interesting thing about this is that that data continued to flow 4, maybe 5 hours after this aircraft otherwise seemed to disappear. Now, this tells us that the plane kept flying. It doesn't tell us where it was flying. For that, we turn to an old bit of evidence, that Malaysian radar contact. Remember, Malaysian officials said that shortly after this plane took off and the communication equipment was shut down, the plane appeared, or something appeared, to make a sharp turn to the left and then it headed west. All of this indicating that perhaps this was something deliberate.
Jesus. There has to be human involvement here. First of all, even with the transponder, even if there was an electrical failure, there are battery backups for that kind of thing. Second of all, if the plane was in distress, it would have had. There are multiple systems for you could radio for help, you could electronically signal for help.
So now there is a renewed focus on a number of different aspects of this flight, including, for instance, the flight crew. What were they doing in the days leading up to the flight itself?
Oh, boy.
This also has a big impact
that's not good.
on the search area. And we were talking about a relatively limited search area that initially included the waters in and around Malaysia. But the fact that this thing may have been flying for another 4 or 5 hours widens that out significantly, and all of a sudden you're talking about a pretty good portion of the globe here, maybe as far as the southeast as Australia, as far to the northwest as India. We know now that the search is really beginning to focus on the Indian Ocean. The U.S. is assisting in that effort, but it's not really clear who is ultimately in charge.
Because the wreckage hasn't been found, there's been no country that's responsible and has the authority to conduct a formal aviation crash investigation. So it's really quite a problem because, in fact, as the former chairman of the NTSB, Jim Hall, likes to tell people, you need somebody in charge, and literally at this point, nobody's because there's no country who's heading up the investigations.
That's so we mentioned the fact that the United States is helping out. One of the things the Navy has done is they have dispatched the destroyer, the USS Kidd, to the Indian Ocean to help in this effort. But this is going to be a massive undertaking. Steve, Clayton, and Elizabeth,
microscopes on it and things of that nature.
They're live for us this morning with the latest and breaking details. Thanks, Doug.
Just the fact that there were.
All right, he's not going to add anything.
That's legitimately concerned.
There's no one in charge. That's a big thing too. Like, you need somebody to take the lead on these investigations, and just the fact that it's so up in the air and there's so many countries involved, but nobody really taking the lead. That is detrimental to the investigation. This is just a bad situation, man. This is not a good thing.
I hope you're wrong.
I do too. I mean,
believe me, and as of yesterday, I would have said you're out of your fucking mind.
I know.
But that 14 minutes apart thing.
Every day that they find other shit, it just.
When I said we will not give up.
Still, after 6 days, no sign of Flight 370.
One thing that will come up.
A bus came offline. If something happened to turn the transponders off, then later other things were turned off 14 minutes later, that would tell me that there was some kind of control, some kind of failure that had to be reacted to. 14 minutes would give you time to transfer the bus power, to deploy the emergency RAM generator.
To radio, that you have a problem.
But how would you then explain?
During, past wars and all that sort of thing.
He's a former
I used to fly a flight instructor out of a little tiny airport near Gainesville, Florida, called Williston, and it was 7,500 feet of concrete, and it was 100. I think it was 100 feet, either 75 or 100 feet wide. You could land a 777 right there. You can land a 777 a lot of places that you can't take off because you burn the fuel down, it's light, you can land on a very short runway.
So where are they looking at this hour? Because this is the fascinating thing is you look at that flight path. They're scouring those flight paths, which, by the way, according to the Wall Street Journal, the flight paths look like they could head towards the Middle East. So right now they're looking at these Andaman Islands and the Nicobar Islands, which have 572 islands there that they have to scour. But only 37 of them are habitable. So they're having to look there. The question, though, is why would you want a plane like this? What would you do with it once you had it? We had Lieutenant General Tom McInerney on the show a little earlier this morning.
Start up your own airlines.
Right? You could do that. Just get your can of spray paint, spray paint over it.
Yeah, why would you want one?
Yeah, maybe Ted is starting an airline.
I want plane. Yes, $7 first bidder.
$7. Oh, boy.
It's just looking very.
I bet we'll have some significant info over the weekend.
I hope so. It would be nice.
Significant.
Very hard to hide a plane from the air, from satellites, from spy planes. If you are that worried about this as a country, you would think you would fly around and see.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure they're doing a lot of that stuff.
But then you have to think about another country's airspace. You can't just fly planes over other countries' airspace with, hey, we're going to fucking turn our spy equipment on over your country.
We do that anyway,
fuck
right?
yourself.
With the Predator drones.
We do, but it's kind of a sneaky thing.
You can't get caught.
Yeah.
But wait a minute. Now, those pings in that Rolls-Royce engine,
yeah,
can they be taken out? Meaning, now that everybody knows that they're there, I never knew they were there, and you have to assume people know.
Yeah.
Can Rolls-Royce, I guess, can't track them exactly to where they are. They can just know that they were running. But will it pick up a ping once those engines start again?
Once they turn on again.
And is there a way to disable that?
Who knows?
If there might be no way to disable that.
Right.
But if there is, that's a problem.
Maybe just crack the fucking antennas off. Who knows? It's got to be something that transmits. So it's just if they went to this extent and planned this would be an insane plan to pull off. It would have to be very far in advance, and you would have to have other contingencies, like an airstrip somewhere, a place to hold 200 plus people.
A nice hotel.
What do you do? You got to feed them and keep them in one place. Have facilities for that many people, unless you just fucking shot them right off the bat. And
no way.
It's
no way you shoot them. You can't. It's like to have that many hostages. If things go wrong, it's too valuable. You don't give up fucking 200 and something hostages.
Maybe you shoot fucking 90% of them.
You shoot the hostage.
Shoot the hostage. It's obviously a lot of speculation here, but this is something, again, like Jimmy said yesterday, you're crazy talking like this. Today, it's like, it's at least something to seriously consider.
Well, thanks for that, Ant. That's great.
Hey, no problem.
Wonderful.
Yeah, have a good day, everyone. Have a nice day.
That was pretty convincing, though. That 14 minutes
to the sky
is a big thing.
Yeah.
China wants more info.
I'm sure they do. There's a rogue plane out there. A rogue plane.
Yes, that's what the general will say in the trailer.
Yes.
There's a rogue plane out there, gentlemen, and my job is to find it.
Set up a perimeter. I want a hard target search.
Yeah, fuck.
Well, what else is going on?
Well,
I know we have Patton Oswald. Patton Oswald's coming in for the whole show. He should be here soon.
Oh, that's
good.
true.
Yeah.
Oh, is he here for the whole show? Good.
I believe so.
Good.
Yeah.
A big chunk of it.
Didn't he do the Tonight Show the other night?
Yeah.
I saw his Twitter. I didn't see the show.
I would assume, yes.
Yeah, he did
nice.
it last night.
Oh, he did? Okay.
And Maria Menounos is coming in. Supposedly she's like a fan of the show with her husband or something.
Oh, yeah?
I hadn't seen
I think
her
she's
show.
got a reality show or something.
Yeah, oh, yeah. I didn't watch it, though.
I didn't watch it either. I meant to, but I didn't. She's going to just come in and say hi. So,
Yeah. I've been busy just taking like little funny pictures of myself. Trying to set up a modeling portfolio.
Oh.
It's my new dream.
Oh, my God.
To be a model?
Yes, I want to be a model.
Very good.
Aren't you too old for that? Or no?
Never too old. That's what
All
they told me.
Okay, all right.
I heard that message.
Were these pictures on your Twitter? Or?
No, just in my home computer.
Oh.
Me smiling, making wry faces.
When are we going to get to see them?
Coy?
Once my entire portfolio is complete.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Do you do any cheeky shots?
Sure I do.
How about coy?
Mid-laugh. Like I'll make myself laugh about something.
Yeah.
Like I'll just think of one of the clever things I've said, and then in my mid-natural laugh, I'll hit the camera button and let that magic be captured for my new modeling portfolio.
Very good.
We got a guy that wants to join your panic party.
All right.
Let's say hi to Steve in Indianapolis.
Yes.
Hey, boys. Yeah,
Hello.
I'm into this little panic party. So here's the take. These guys have been planning this out for years. They have to anticipate that everybody be looking for them short order, looking for the damages or looking for the aircraft or whatever. So they probably are going to carry this out, the final act, whatever they're going to do with the plane, within the next 24 to 48 hours.
Oh, look at this guy.
Wait, why, sir?
Doomsday preppers, buddies. Yeah, so the deal is that they're gonna take this plane, wherever they have it now, and do something with it in short order. They're not going to sit on it because they realize that everybody, they probably didn't anticipate this OnStar accessory that they have on the engines. So they realize that they've got to do something really fast with it, run it into another airport or a building or something like that.
I say this: I don't believe that they didn't know about the OnStar thing, because if you can make a 777 disappear with the technology we have now,
amazing.
You're probably aware that the OnStar thing was there, and maybe they knew it couldn't be traced.
And it doesn't track. You can't track the plane with it. So it's kind of inconsequential.
Is there no way to track that, though? How can you not have any way to track that?
It's fucked up. Without that transponder, it's just another thing in the air that, you see those computer, when you punch up how many planes are in the air at any given moment, and it's just fucking thousands. It could be anything. Flock of birds. Radar picks up all kinds of shit. It could be anything.
I was reading about that Boeing plane that was stolen in 2003 that they never found.
Wow, really?
Yeah. It was taken. It was taken from an airport in Angola, and they never found it.
Wow.
Never. And that's
shit. Building up a fleet.
But nothing ever happened to the plane, and they
maybe that was just a dry run, though.
They dismissed terrorism like 5 years later because nothing ever happened.
And they never found it.
They never found it.
But that wasn't a plane full of people either.
No.
And it was taken from the ground,
right? It was
right?
2 people that just took the plane, turned the transponder off, and just flew without clearance.
John Travolta did it.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
But the FBI and the CIA, they got involved in everything, and nobody ever found anything.
Damn.
You know what? Maybe that's something they want to do. They got 2 planes. Although you don't intentionally take one and hold it you don't hold a plane for 11 years.
11 years.
Hope nobody finds it.
All right, here's the plan.
Yeah, and you got to fly those planes around. They need, constant maintenance, and can't just leave a plane sitting.
Maybe they take off with it once in a while and zip it around the island.
Zip it around.
Right back down.
Be fun.
We have 9 minutes of fuel, gentlemen.
Just taking it for joyrides.
Yeah.
Because they can. All right, we got food, and we got Patton Oswald is here. So why don't we take a break here? And Patton's going to join the show next. Stay.
The date is October 11th, 1983. It's 7:18 p.m. Detective Club Soda with self-professed organized crime soldier Lyle Chipperson. Okay, Lyle, you're requesting placement in witness protection. What kind of information do you have for us?
Yo, I'm in the mafia. Don't even fuck around with me.
Don't get defensive. Just explain your business here.
I was in the mafia for years. My mob name was Little Chippy D.
Okay, Lyle. You have no record. You've been seen with none of our organized crime contacts. What was your role?
The hitman.
A hitman?
Mafia hitman.
Right, the mafia. Well, who do you work most closely with?
I ain't no rat.
Then I don't know why you're here. Are you afraid of repercussions?
Yeah, good luck killing me. I carry like fucking bazookas.
Lyle, there's no way you could have carried around a weapon like that. If you're just here to waste my time, I suggest you leave.
Fuck you, cocksucker. I'd shoot and kill everybody. Bury in a hole or something, then we'll see.
Mr. Chipperson, why are you here?
Fucking stupid cocksucker. Start listening, you fucking piece of shit.
I can't believe you wasted our fucking time with this bullshit. Do you know this is a crime?
Make him an offer that no one refuses.
Why don't you do yourself a favor, Lyle? Walk out the door now.
Fuck you.
You're a funny guy. Laugh at this. You like that? How does this feel? Fuck this.
This is Ricky Gervais. Hi, this is Ricky Gervais. Welcome you back to the Opie and Anthony Show. With Jim Norton, of course. Love Jim Norton. Love his little strange face and head and brain.
Got Patton Oswald outside the studio making his way in.
Yeah.
We love Patton.
There he is.
Yay. Welcome back, Pat.
Yay.
Although Anthony just creeped everyone out, so.
I did creep everyone out with the fucking missing
his
airplane
dating stories.
I creeped everyone out with my...
He thinks the plane was stolen, basically.
I definitely think this fucking thing was taken by somebody. Now, what the intent is completely speculative. But it really looks like there was a concerted effort to make this plane invisible and then fly it somewhere for something.
But my only question is, if you now have a 777, let's say that was planned. So, and we have now stolen a 777.
Yeah,
you've got to refuel it.
Right.
You've got where do you get the money and supplies to do that, or do they have that already set aside waiting?
I would think if you're going to go to this extent to steal a plane, you do have to do a little prep work. Prep on that. And aviation fuel is just kerosene, really. So. I mean, those things fly on anything.
I don't know about how. I'm assuming it's really expensive just because the 777 is so gigantic.
But again, it's kerosene. I mean, you get a few barrels of kerosene, you top it off, and you're back in the air.
I'm going to talk out to my dad. I was telling Jim out in the hall that my dad used to investigate plane crashes.
Yeah.
And so I usually, when something crazy like this happens, I wait a few days and go, okay, what is? I wait for all the craziness to die down,
right,
and all the nutty theories,
right.
Albert Brooks retweeted someone's Tumblr that had a pretty interesting theory that fit but you can make anything fit the facts.
You can.
But she really made it fit the facts of that a takeover was happening and the pilot realized what was going on and deliberately turfed the plane out.
Yeah.
To save, tens of thousands of people on the ground.
Right.
But why do they turn the things off 14 minutes apart, though?
Again, I do
the transponders,
not know that, that isn't that new information.
Yeah,
see that I don't know, and again, then that's very eerie. And what the fuck?
And anything as far as wreckage goes, anything. A lot of crap floats on these planes. Nothing has turned up and washed up on a beach a week later.
Yeah, and the fact that they keep changing the search radius is really weird.
Yeah, we're expanding it again, somewhere between the North and South Poles. Oh, okay.
It's pretty much the whole world.
We're looking inside of a boat in a Boston backyard right now. We're just every possibility we're going to do. Yeah, it is getting that creepy. So
it's Jimmy said earlier, it's like yesterday or a couple of days ago, any theory of this plane being taken was looked at like you were kind of crazy and a conspiracy. Alex Jones, it's a false flag operation.
Let's get him on the phone.
But now it's
Could you call Alex Jones? I'm serious.
It's not that crazy to think that they're obviously constantly planning shit. They want to do something bad again.
Well, yeah, it does feel like. I mean, like unless I'm mistaken, the attack on the World Trade Center in 1993 was a dry run for what went down in 2001. And these guys they don't think in terms of a couple of months. They have 10, 20-year plans.
Yep.
So we could be seeing the clumsy beginning of something that's going to come back in 10 or 20 years.
They're very... they're very dedicated to their cause.
Patient.
Yeah, very patient indeed.
See, I'm an optimist, though. See, my thing is the plane was taken, but it's because they're starting up a charitable organization, and they want to help people, so they're loading it with fun things like balloons and whatnot to have the big launch.
Dump off on people that want kittens and balloons.
Yeah, helpful things.
No, these guys have definitely taken the Axl Rose Chinese democracy model for really, let's work on this.
Right.
Really get to bring in Buckethead. They keep bringing in different guys, keep firing them. I fired all these bum guys. They're not good. I'm bringing a whole new crew. They're terrible.
It's a little creepy.
Let's call Patton's father.
Yeah, I mean, he lives in Virginia. I bet he's awake.
I would love to get him on.
Do you mind? Because I kind of want to.
Mind. I think this would be great.
Right, let's surprise my dad.
An investigator.
And and I will call him.
He should be up by now, no?
Yeah, no, he's an ex-Marine. He's up. This is late for him, for God's sake. So,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
What's the number? Just say it.
And if he investigated plane crashes, this could be good.
Well, he was the one that talked me down when I was getting a little freaked out about 9/11, when he just said, look, velocity, fuel, and steel together create weird stuff. Weird things happen in every single plane crash. So to sit there and go, yeah, but in this plane crash, it's like, that doesn't matter. Each one is its own sealed thing, and you have to just start from scratch, and you can't, so that made me go, oh, okay,
yeah, you can't just take a past plane crash and go apply everything to another one. Yeah.
Hey, if you get him on the phone, have me talk to him first, because if he's like, this is a radio show, he might hang up or something. He's like,
yeah.
Are we calling him now, or?
Yeah, they're trying.
Yeah.
All right.
You could put him through.
Poor guy.
Maybe you should have called first and said, "Look,
Oh shoot! Wait a minute. Yeah,
a little preamble.
Hold on, Sal.
You don't call yet, Sal.
Yeah, Sal, hang on.
Yeah,
you got him.
Let me. Okay.
Stupid Sal.
Oh, Travis is waiting.
No, stupid me.
No.
You call him first, and then we'll get him on the air.
Hey, we're gonna call.
Hey, wait a minute.
Marine.
What else is going on, guys?
Oh man,
I listened to your show when I'm driving around LA in the afternoons. I get it on 103.
Nice.
So, but I always get it like, it's 2 or 3 hours after it's been on. So for all I know, like, what if these guys have all died somehow?
Oh, man.
And this is this ghostly, and the last thing was Anthony was mad at Obama. That was his last thing in the world. I love that you guys went over the Zach thing the other day with Obama, which is one of the funniest things, and you still could not get over your hatred.
No, I actually did. I said I thought it was funny, and I think if you just get the guys like on Fox News bashing him just for that,
right,
it shows that, like, all right, you just don't like anything he does. No, I found that very funny.
Yeah, no, it was in.
I thought,
and he beat up Fox for having to, hate on it.
Yeah, it's that's
that
just
was ridiculous how they had to hate on that
things
thing.
that it's kind of useless.
Well, you pointed out if Bush and they go, well, he's just letting his hair down and having a good time. Come on, everyone, calm down now.
Hey, everyone's having fun. Come on.
Zach had balls though, man, because that's even if both of them know it's a setup and it's fun.
Yeah,
it's still ballsy to say to the fucking sitting U.S. president, what is it like to be the last black president? That's a fucking ballsy joke to pull off, pre-approved or not. That's a great one.
Funny line. You never know how that could go the wrong way.
And Obama went with it, so you got to give him credit for going for it.
I'm assuming he was a Zach fan first and kind of knew. He obviously knew.
He's too much of a nerd.
Kind of threw some shit at Zach too about The Hangover 3 and stuff.
Oh yeah, pretty great.
It was funny. Yeah,
it was awesome.
Did a good job.
When I tweeted that out, I pulled the quote, "What's it like to be the last black president?" Which, and it was from, and I got an angry response, of course, from someone who, by the way, had said earlier on her Twitter feed, "I have watched this video and this is brilliant." And then I pulled that quote. She's like, "Oh, you got to pull that quote, you racist motherfucker!" Unfollowed. I was like, "You just said you watched and enjoyed this video. Either you're lying or you're." It's just.
They're really
Twitter. I love that. By the way, I love the term. I realize unfollow makes people sound like I'm a Roman emperor. Unfollow. Me, I will take me and my 18 followers elsewhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Good luck with your career, Mr. Norton. You have made a fatal error.
Really? I always try to think of something to come back with when somebody is hating on you, and then you hit reply and realize you got to now do some editing, and you're 17 characters over before you even said anything, and then you just go, fuck it,
and you give up on it.
I give.
I don't have enough room here.
I don't know how to fucking condense all these words.
That's why you find that profile picture and you just find if there's an obvious physical flaw, attack.
That is one of the greatest
right
things
to the
do.
schoolyard.
Yes.
Hey, nice pig you're married to. Send.
That is it.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't tell you to put that fucking as your profile photo before
really
you insult me.
It is a playground mentality.
Wasn't there was a few months ago, there was some dude attacked us, you and me, and we were going back and forth, and he was some like two white guys whining about something.
Oh, boy.
And then someone else pointed out, you say in your profile you're a lacrosse fanatic, and you're pointing out white guys.
Yeah.
And then that's all people did to him. And then he was like, unfollow, block, all. Like he just, you just walked right into it.
They can't handle it.
Yeah, people don't realize sometimes that, there are a lot of followers of Jim Norton and Patton Oswald. There are a lot of times I won't even have to comment. I just retweet whatever they tweeted and give you like, they'll take care of it. Our people will take care of this.
Because they hate it too. They can see that douchiness. They're like, oh.
They've had it. They pretty much have had it too.
I know, it's great.
Where's Patton's father? Is this going down?
I texted him.
Yeah.
He has not texted back. I could try to call him when we go to break.
He's still in his bunk.
Yeah. Wow, this is compelling magic radio, guys.
It really is.
Waiting for a tweet from my dad.
Waiting for a tweet.
I like that. It's going to take some time. It'll build as a story now.
There's no rush.
How was it growing up with a Marine as a father?
I was actually pretty lucky. Because he was one of those Marines that he was in Vietnam for 3 years. He got shot in the leg.
Wow.
He saw some really horrific shit. And he was one of those guys that was like, you and your brother will never, ever join the Army.
Wow.
I will kill you before you join the Army. The stuff that I saw. And he also, it was kind of cool having him around because he always gave me a great perspective on, like, I was the classic, like, these guys are trying to send us to war and they're all draft dodgers. They're draft dodging. Doesn't that piss you off, Dad? And he's like, well, I'm pissed that they're, like, someone like Bush is sending us to war, but I'm not. The fact that he's a draft dodger, that's admirable. He found a way to get his ass out of Vietnam. I didn't do that. I fucked up and went over there. So someone who avoided the Vietnam War, that act in itself is that's a point in the pro column.
Wow.
Hey, he found a way to get out of it. He's a pretty smart guy.
Wow.
Now, he should have also gone, hey, I got out of it. I'm going to make sure no one else has to go do it. But he goes, dodging the draft is a good thing. That means the guy is smart and thought shit through, like I did not.
What years was he over there?
78 to 81.
Yeah, he was touring with Mr. Mister. I mean, they should have said that. And he got, one of the roadies got really mad at him and shot him in the leg. But still, he was like, you will never join the, And when he said the Army, he meant the two-boy Army, which was,
Yeah.
So that he was.
Holy shit.
But I remember that my dad, the worst time for him was when the movie Platoon came out.
Oh.
And not because it brought back any memories for him. He was just like, it's a movie. And But what happened was all my mom's friends were suddenly, Larry, I really suddenly understand what it was that you went through. I saw Platoon, and now I can really feel for what you must have been. Like,
can you?
Fucking leave me alone, all of you. And we were at a dinner, some friends were over for dinner, and some woman just started in on him. Again, I just saw Platoon, and you just saw his shoulders like, God damn it. and you were a Marine pilot. Like, so were you... You were dropping bombs on people that you didn't even know.
Oh, shit.
Like, that must have been so... Did you ever have any crisis of conscience, or are you haunted by it? My dad just goes, we only bombed hospitals and schools. And just, like, shut her off. He was so pissed off.
What was he... Do you know what he flew over there?
He flew the F-4s.
Phantoms, wow.
Which were they were like, the diesel... those were the last before everything got computerized.
Right.
Were they jets or like power?
Those were jets. Those were
crazy.
Really you could very easily fuck up in your jet because there was no computer stuff. You had to know everything. It's the difference between like driving a stick shift and driving an automatic.
Yeah. Wow.
So those F4s,
wow.
It was pretty intense.
Yeah, those are synonymous with like the Huey is synonymous with the Vietnam War. The Phantoms are like you see a Phantom, you're like, yeah, that's Vietnam.
Yeah. You see a Phantom and you literally start hearing Creedence Clearwater's Fortunate Son in your head. Like, okay, Vietnam. There we go.
Yeah. Wow, a Phantom pilot. That's ballsy shit right there.
Yeah, he gave me his old flight jacket, which he's like, never wear this in public because you'll be immediately murdered and someone will take it from you because it's so gorgeous.
Wow.
And he has his patches like Phantom Flyer and Crusader, like just from his squadron. So
that is
just
cool.
Like,
wow.
And he goes, never wear this outside.
Yeah, no shit.
Someone will kill you immediately.
Someone will take it.
Yeah, you will not. And I'm always wonder, like, is he saying that I'm the kind of guy that people look at and go, we can get that jacket off. Are you kidding?
Beat the
that
shit out of
jacket's
him.
mine, man.
He said that about every nice thing he ever got you. Never ride this bike outside. It's only in the garage in circles.
We just got you a really nice shirt from Jacob. Don't wear this outside.
Don't wear it.
Please. Begging you.
Where did he get shot?
He was shot in what part of his body, or where in
You
Vietnam?
said in the leg, right?
Yeah, in the right leg, and it kind of went up into his. It was bad. But again, my dad. He was shot in. I don't know what part of Vietnam he was shot in, but he was with a. He was with the Anglico company that they are trying to train the South Vietnamese to kind of take over, and
worked
run
out
shit.
well.
And so he got himself shot, and it was pretty bad. Although now he runs and it's the worst having an ex-Marine dad. The one bad thing is they stay really fit, and he has diabetes, but he still swims and runs, and and he's so goddamn fit. I'm just like,
shit.
Dad, being 45 is really tough, keeping the weight off, and I'm trying to do fast walking now to save my knees. And do you do these ellipticals? The elliptical's pretty good.
Shit.
Low impact. Like, I could not be more of a. How did this guy? There was literally I put a picture of him on Twitter on Veterans Day and standing in front of his F4, and I thought people were like, wow, that's great. And they're all like, how the fuck did that guy make you? Man. That was the only responses I got was
block, fuck you.
Tears, crying.
Hater. I want to see the picture now of your pops.
Yeah, I put
We're trying to find it.
Well, go to my Twitter feed and just go to the pictures and you'll see it. He's in front of his F4 and you're like, wait, that's the guy that made the sidekick on King of Queens? Really?
What happened?
It'd be like finding out that Mason Reese came out of
Mason
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there you go. Wow, that's your dad. Look at that.
Yeah. Look at that.
Well, you can't see that because it's radio.
What kind of
go to Patton Oswald's
filter?
Twitter.
Yeah, go to my Twitter.
Go to the pictures.
That's the Phantom Flyer in front of the
That's
F4.
fucking cool as shit.
How the hell do you fly that?
I swear I know, literally.
Unbelievable.
That much, and again, no computers.
No.
Basically, he probably had the same computer power that like an Atari 2600 had.
Right? Not even a phone, right?
No, exactly. Yeah, my phone has more computing power than that plane.
What a badass stuff.
Yeah, and then me. Hi, welcome to Cranberries Comedy Club. Oh, it's some funny thing. The Star Wars movies are coming out.
Air Force commercial coming on the TV.
Or as my dad would call them, the Chair Force.
Chair Force.
Get it? Yeah, he was so.
Get it. That ain't like the old days. That's right.
Chair Force. He was Marine, so.
Chair Force.
Oh, they must hate the Air Force as being coddled. Yeah. They're treated so well.
Each branch hates each other. They all are making fun of each other and how much they can't stand it. You're like, no, those guys aren't real. We are the only. Yeah, and the Air Force, I'm sure, feels the same way about the Marines.
Yeah, the Air Force is treated the best, I think, though. I think those guys get the best food because they're like the pilots.
Yeah,
but the Marines, they do. And then the Naval Aviator.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so.
Yeah. And then the Army is like the dregs.
Oh, yeah.
Army's always just, boy, do they get shit on.
Yeah. They don't even get flown over to the war. They have to get themselves there.
You got to start a Kickstarter campaign just to get yourself over to the battle.
I tried out for I joined the Navy, but I didn't make it because they put me in this pool and I went underwater and I turned upside down I couldn't get out and they yelled at me. And
DOR'd you?
Yeah, he certainly did.
And that was
really?
My young red hair.
Yes, we remember.
When they say drop on request, they mean their request, not yours. Yeah, we are going to DOR you. We're DORing it for you.
Was that Caruso's first movie when he's in fucking
it was an early one. Yeah.
Oh, shit, that's right. He is in there.
He's the guy.
That he turned upside, he just couldn't get out of it. He was panicking.
Yeah.
It's Panicky Pete.
Wait a minute, you did that thing?
Oh, no, I was just kidding. I was just referencing it because it was him.
Yeah.
No, I never joined.
I could see a young Jim Norton in his parachute pants.
Exactly, having a Biloxi Blues incident.
Yeah, except it's with the Christopher Walken character.
Hey, how was it doing the Seinfeld show? I was a big fan of that web series.
That was so much fun. I mean, you know what he did, and you'll agree with this. He recreated what comedians do on the road to kill the day before the show, which is
get a hooker.
There's one, getting a hooker with Jim Norton. Comedians in cars getting hookers.
Yeah, comedians incarcerated.
But it's that we can turn getting coffee into a 5-hour thing.
Right.
Where we sit and we bitch about our careers and we philosophize as to what real comedy is. So yeah, that is the life of a comedian during the day: is how do I kill the 8 hours before the show.
But your car broke down.
Well, he wanted to get a DeLorean.
Yep.
So he picks you up in the DeLorean, and it's on film. It gets to the bottom of the hill that my house is on and completely breaks down. And it breaks down like the way cars break down in bad comedies where smoke is coming out and goo is coming out of the back and just dripping. Like it looked like it was rigged to do that. And then for a second I thought it was, and then that's when Jerry went, "Do you have like Uber or something like that or whatever? What's it called? Uber. You have Uber or something?" And I was like, "Yeah, I have Uber." And he goes, "Well, maybe you should get a car and we'll try to find another DeLorean. And they had Jerry Seinfeld, he had another DeLorean.
He found another DeLorean.
And that came and met us downtown.
Wow.
Yeah, that's power.
Yeah, we need a DeLorean.
Give me another DeLorean. Yeah, no problem.
I need a DeLorean to meet me somewhere.
Yeah.
I literally can't get an Uber half the time. I have the fucking app. Get a DeLorean to meet him.
Yeah, they see your name. Oh, God. I know what he wants me for.
Yeah, no tip and 1 star of rating. This guy stinks.
I like Seinfeld more after this. Comedians in cars getting coffee. He's got more of an edge to him than I think most people realize.
He does, and there was some stuff that they cut out of our segment where we kind of got into an argument.
Really?
Not a mean one, but a thing about it. He's more about, I like to get a bit and really refine it, and I do it, and that's what I like to do, and it's, I treat them as songs. I'm like, I get a bit to where I think it's perfect, and then it's done, and I want to keep generating new stuff. I never want to repeat stuff. Once it comes out on an album or a special, it can never be said again on stage. Like, that's my philosophy. And he put up a pretty good argument, I thought, for how his way of seeing things. But it really was like these kind of two generations of, because he did come from a time, not that he's from the 40s or something, but there was a time where, because the Tonight Show loomed over everything with Carson, that it was all about honing and getting it perfect. And I came up, when I was coming up, I saw the Tonight Show go away. So it became more about, okay, you got to generate new stuff, and there's a lot more material windows open. Yeah, exactly. Right. Because I do way more podcasts and shows and stuff like that, and I realized, if Seinfeld's going to go do comedy, he can just go right to the Tonight Show.
Yeah,
They're
right,
happy
exactly.
to have him, so he's going to have something that's ready to go.
I would have just hit your argument with the Seinfeld theme on my phone. Oh, really? You think that's the best way to do it? Yeah, I think my way is good.
Hey, can you rewind this a little bit? Here's the scene from Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee with the DeLorean.
Oh, yeah.
Crapping out.
Wow.
Oh, it is smoking.
You see the stance of fear?
It really looks like it just came back from the future.
Yeah.
I'm not feeling a bit here, are you?
The only thing that makes it possibly a bit is that it's a DeLorean, and in a weird way, you and I are reliving symbolically the whole rise and fall. This literally
sounds like a panel story to me.
I didn't know that we had different categories. Well, that's panel, my friend. Please. Is panel better than a bit? Is panel? No. Oh, okay. Bits is
nothing
always
better than a bit.
A killer bit.
A bit is a bar of gold. A talk show panel story is something that's too good to throw out, but not good enough to use. Like this car.
That was kind of the beginning of our... Roger Ebert say, no good movie is long enough, and no bad movie is short enough.
That's a good line.
Yeah. And
well, long and short are code words for good and bad.
Exactly. Yeah. There are 8-second videos that I can't watch 2 seconds of. Did you have network notes?
No. No, never got them.
You're like a unicorn.
Yeah.
I'd be writing on sketch shows, and they would literally say, the Hitler sketch is really funny. Does he have to be so anti-Semitic?
They're trying to fix the car.
And then cutting in it was this huge event.
Is great.
It was in Time magazine, and literally 6 months later, they're like, yeah, he's alive.
Okay, now I want to ask you, how would you have killed Superman?
Superman gets his powers from Our Yellow Sun. But your listeners are literally switching this off.
No, they're all curious.
Make it a thing where it's like, the longer he stays here, now it's starting to kill him. And then there's a massive disaster looming. Do I stay and stop this thing happening, but then die in the process? Or do I leave and save myself?
That's really good story thinking you just did there. I would like to see your screenplays. I'm just joking. I have no interest in
He is such a
actually had a moment of hope. Like, I don't want to.
I think he's into me.
I loved Jerry Seinfeld after this whole series. It was great.
Yeah.
And what about downtown L.A.? That whole thing's coming.
It's crazy.
Because that's what you guys. Why does Jimmy say?
No, I'm laughing at fucking.
Oh, that line?
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah. But you guys ended up in downtown L.A., which is...
In downtown L.A., which was the...
making a comeback.
Well, it's not... It's making a comeback / doing what Brooklyn did.
Right.
Exact same thing, which is bring in the hipster coffee shops. And I say, like, if you want to be a downtown hipster, you got to get a way too expensive dog that's going to die too early. You got to have... distressed jeans that cost more than new jeans. And then you got to have a creative loft space that you ride a bicycle around in. But that's all. It is all happening. Downtown LA is Brooklyn, basically.
Wow,
it really?
Is.
Except that there's parts of this in Brooklyn too. 3 blocks of gentrified, gorgeous hipsterism, and then literally on the next block, it's immediate death. If you walk in there, you're immediately murdered. And whenever they gentrify these neighborhoods, it's like they shove all the bad neighborhoods into one tightly packed specific neighborhood.
Right.
That you could almost execute criminals. We're just going to throw you in we're going to have you walk down to that bodega and you'll be murdered. Like they did the same thing in San Francisco. The Tenderloin keeps shrinking because the hipsters keep buying it up. So now the Tenderloin is the most concentrated 3 blocks of murder that you've ever seen. It's so horrifying. And the same thing in Brooklyn, especially in downtown LA. It's all
the same thing.
I mean, you go to Brooklyn and there's some neighborhoods where you're like, oh wow, it's a collective anarchist bookstore and a feminist coffee shop, and then you go to the next block and it's like Puerto Ricans literally just like, yeah, you're gonna be killed. You really should go back to your little book collective because I don't know what the fuck you're thinking. We gave you that. We let you have that dumb, lame block for yourselves.
Yeah, stay out of here.
Go the fuck away, please.
Die.
I like the Tenderloin in San Francisco a lot. Like, I love it. I mean, maybe it's gotten worse and worse as time has gone. I've been there like a year and a half, 2 years, but I love staying there, man. It's just there's like a sexual, dirty vibe to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where that all happens.
Oh, Jesus, yeah, all the O'Farrell brothers shits down there. All of the
down there.
There are transvestites that other transvestites would run screaming from in the Tenderloin, like frightening, amazing. And again, it's all concentrated. It's all frightening and amazing. That's a great.
No, but I'm just thinking of the image of some awful-looking transvestites, and I don't disagree.
Yeah. No, I swear to God, I think one time I tweeted, I'm like, I either just saw the world's ugliest transvestite or Yaphet Kotto is doing research for a movie. Because I was walking through the Tenderloin. I go down to Market Street and I walk. Because it's fascinating. There's people playing chess and there's people just selling the most random stuff. And it is a dirty kind of gorgeousness everywhere.
Yeah, and you'd never want us to fucking the midnight run Yaphet Kotto in a blonde wig. Although the across 110th Street one, maybe you let him jerk you off.
Yeah, that's the alien one could do whatever he wanted to. Are you kidding? I love that guy. The alien Yaphet Kotto can do whatever he wants. That guy's gorgeous, fucking gorgeous.
Isn't he? Is he converted to Judaism or was he born Jewish? I think it's a Jewish. Am I crazy to say that?
Really?
Why do I think that's a Jewish name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
Wow, that's I had never heard that.
I never heard that he was Jewish at all.
I had heard that, but
if they don't turn up in Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song, I don't know who. Until he sings about him, I will not acknowledge it.
Who were people surprised was Jewish from that song? There were some people that you're like, oh, I didn't know he was.
Linda Evans. William Shatner,
Goebbels,
a lot of.
That's very surprising.
That's still one of my favorite lines from The Simpsons when they're talking about when Krusty the Clown is Jewish and Homer's like, a Jewish entertainer, and Lisa's like, oh, there's a lot of Jews in show business, Dad. Linda Evans, William Shatner, Mel Brooks. Mel Brooks is Jewish. So yeah, but by the way, in the Tenderloin on 6th Street, this is in San Francisco, there is a Vietnamese restaurant called Toulon, and it is on the diciest block of the Tenderloin. It's like there's the Tenderloin, and then there's the asshole of the Tenderloin, and that's where Toulon is, and it is one of the best Thai restaurants you'll ever eat at, and there's even reviews in the window from Julia Child used to go there.
Wow.
Even when the neighborhood was that because the food is so fucking good.
It's worth the threat to your life.
It's worth the rolling the dice on.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they go somewhere else with that?
I think it's that
they're just set in their ways, I guess.
Yeah, and this is our building, and we'll just make it. We're gonna make this work.
I went to a horrible massage parlor in San Francisco. I did. I had been looking at it for years. I had been out there with a girlfriend all the time, and I was.
Hang on before you go on. Is this the one where there's these? It's like ground floor level windows with the red curtains and the white statues.
Wow. Yes, it is.
I've passed that a million times. What Okay, what the fuck goes on?
I
in there?
believe it. I think that's the one you're talking about.
You are Agent Cooper in Twin Peaks. You just went into the White Lodge and you came out. I've looked at that building for years.
Me too.
Okay, what happened?
Finally went in during the day, and it was a massage. You know it's never a good massage when they're going to use baby oil. You're like, oh, fuck. And they didn't jerk
Wait, what
me
does
off.
that mean usually?
They're not professional massage oil. It's just a quick, like, rub and tug.
Oh,
It
okay.
wasn't even that. She, I don't know.
Tug?
Nothing. She wouldn't. She put, like, a little lame paper towel over my ass or something. And there was no, like, a little bit of brushing by the ass, if I remember right, but there was no hand job. Either they thought I was a cop. Sometimes they don't. If they're not 100% sure about you, they won't do it. Or it's just one of those places. But I was very, very, very disappointed.
You weren't pushing back a little?
Oh, I absolutely did.
Looked like a cat in heat on the table.
I look like fucking. I look like someone trying to keep the door closed when an intruder was coming in. My fucking hips were bucking back.
Where is your Food Network Anthony Bourdain style show for massage followers? Where
God knows I want to pitch it to Vice or somebody else.
I swear to God, Jimmy reviews and goes and.
That would be a great show.
And like each one, you're like,
in
okay,
every city.
Let's review. They did not use the right his criteria.
I would love that. Then everywhere I go, they'd be like, "Oh, that's the guy." So we have to be. They'd be like fucking, be like Zagat walking into a restaurant.
Zagat review. All right, we got 3 Jimmys. We have 3 Jimmys. Smiling face.
Smiling face.
3 sad faces and 1 limp dick. That's a 3.5 Jimmy review. Oh no. Hey Sam, can you look up Yaphet Kotto on there? Just
really?
Now we have to know.
Yeah, I don't know if he's Jewish or not, but I remember reading that or hearing it.
He was really good in Alien. He's
tremendous.
Great in Alien, great in Blue Collar.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's my favorite thing he ever did.
Fuck, is he good in that?
They put the old against the young and the rich against the what? Oh, it's fucking. I forget what the exact line is, but they close it with that quote.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Wasn't he Mosley in
Midnight Run? Yeah,
Midnight Run.
Oh yeah.
I'm Mosley.
Just gonna upset my breakfast. I'm reasonably sure it will, sir. He does the best slow burn in that movie of just that slow. That movie is one of those perfectly cast, not just the main people, even people with a line.
Yeah.
They got the exact right person. The woman that describes the chorizo and eggs to Charles Grodin, the way it's a Mexican sausage and it's sliced and grilled and we mix it up with eggs and it comes with home fries or toast. And he's so starving and he's just like, I'll just have a cup of tea, please.
They have no money. I'll just have a cup of tea.
And then De Niro's like, I'm going to get $500 in 10 minutes at the office. I'll get you a nice big steak. And then Grodin just goes, chorizo and eggs. Like, that burned into his head. He's so starving.
He was so good in that. And then, after that, what happened? Where'd he go?
I don't know. He hasn't done much, right?
Well, he have a talk show where he got really involved and I've got
serious
comment on, and it's like, dude, just go do another Clifford. That's one of the best movies ever. Remember Clifford?
Yes.
One of the weirdest movies where Martin Short just plays a 10-year-old and no one comments on it. It is so fucked up. It's like, am I supposed to be hallucinating, or is Grodin having a heart attack, or what? It is one of the weirdest movies you'll ever see.
Yeah.
He's awesome, man. There's no one that can deliver lines like that, like Charles Grodin. Why weren't you popular in the Chicago Police Department? What a great fucking annoying question that is to ask.
It's just everything. They do a potato to Leonese potato, and it goes wonderful with a pot roast. Would you shut the fuck up?
Yeah, you can see why De Niro wanted to murder him.
Great.
Oh, man.
Joe Pantaleone, right?
Joey Pants was in there.
Marvin's telling me to go fuck myself. Everybody's telling me to go fuck myself. Everybody's telling me to go fuck myself. Why isn't that a musical? That should be like, everybody's telling me to go fuck myself. By the way, I don't know if you've, and I'm not saying this to disparage anybody, but that guy, I mentioned Mason Reese. I just realized this. I don't know. Do you know who Mason Reese was?
I do know.
Mortgage board.
He was this. Yeah, mortgage. He was this little, adorable, toe-headed kid that was on the Mike Douglas show all through the 70s. And
Underwood Deviled Ham
commercials, and he was just this.
That guy, Jimmy, you remember him?
Holy shit.
Mason Reese.
Oh, yeah, Jesus.
Well,
he was huge.
Yeah,
well,
he has
and now he is huge.
And by the way, he's
handsome.
He is, he clearly, he was a child star. It could not have been fun, especially during the 70s.
Right.
He now owns restaurants in New York. He's doing fine. He's got 2 really great restaurants and bars, and he drums. He's
Wow.
he survived, but he now has a YouTube channel where he's putting up clips from his past, and one of them is a pilot that they shot.
Wow.
Called Mason. And this was done in the 74, and then they Saturn it and they aired it in like 76 or 77. And it really goes to show you how things, because it's about, he's this adorable little kid, and his dad is the guy that played Ullman in The Shining, the hotel manager.
Oh my God, he was in Clockwork Orange too. He played the fucking father, Alex's father, in Clockwork Orange.
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm thinking of Grady. Grady, I'm sorry.
Grady was the dad.
Yes, okay.
No, Ullman is the hotel manager.
Right.
And yes, there it is. It's a 23-minute pilot, and it is the most. The jokes are literally the most casual child molestation jokes.
Are you kidding?
I'm not kidding. You should, if you want to either watch it or go through it. But it is the creepy.
My God,
or
I love it.
I'm just letting you know
Mason.
this is something for you guys to. Watch
to really have a good time with.
Holy
Why don't we just
crap.
play it for a minute or two and just see where it goes?
Boy, is this...
and listen to the theme song. The theme song is, again, this is supposed to be like a fun sitcom, and the theme song is the most depressing, dark. Listen to the words.
I love shit like this.
Here we go.
Let him make his way, let him follow strange voices in the wind, footsteps in the sand. And when you know he's hurt, when you know he's sad, put your arms around him.
Wow.
Treasure every day while he's still a
The still pics of Mason.
Because before you know it, suddenly the child's a man.
So,
wow.
Tell him that he's strong, laugh
God,
at all
keeps
his
going.
jokes, listen to him talk all about the fears racing through his mind. And when you know he's
listen to him
hurt,
talk
when you
all
know
about the
he's
fears
sad,
racing through his mind.
This is horrible.
I love it though. All photos.
Yeah.
Wow. This could be worse than the Ropers opening.
Before you know it, the child's a man. So,
Now he's walking.
Oof.
I'm home.
Wow.
Ugh.
Just to keep the listeners up to speed. They're showing a phone.
Here comes Ullman getting out of bed.
Oh, that guy. If I'm retired, what do I need an alarm clock for? I don't have to do anything. I
always confused him with Jackie
why do I
Cooper.
have to get up, not to do it.
He
Kind of
kinda
looks like a
him.
Jackie Cooper Superman
As long as I
era.
don't have to get up. Why, you say we take advantage.
Watch this.
Peggy.
Morning.
Honey.
Morning, Dad.
Whoa! He just touched his son's ass.
What have you done with your mother?
She's making breakfast. I crawled in while the place was still warm. Did I surprise you?
You came close.
Oh, man, he almost...
Weren't you getting ready for school?
Wow.
We're going on a field trip to the museum. I've already been to the museum.
Go again.
It's like the father's like, get out of here.
Right.
Leave me alone.
How would you like it if I was trapped overnight and in the morning they found me all shriveled up, the victim of the horrible curse of the Pharaoh?
Imagine being in the audience for this.
Dad?
Doesn't care.
Yeah.
Don't rush me. I'm thinking about it.
Wow, it's like child abuse
You know what I like
jokes.
about you, Dad? We don't have a normal father-son relationship.
Neglect.
Survived moving better than I did.
Who's the mom?
Then they're used to being transplanted. I'm not.
Peggy, tell Mason he could get in bed with me.
It was my own idea. I believe in self-expression.
Did he get in bed with you?
I thought it was you.
Oh, dear.
Oh, that's okay. He only touched my tush and called me honey.
Go get dressed and have your breakfast.
Could you imagine these in this day and age?
Hurry and help me unpack or we'll never get
The episode
settled.
opens with, I kind of felt the kid up,
Yeah.
and now I want him to go die.
Felt his ass, called him honey.
I like it though. It doesn't. It's better than any kid dialogue you'll see today. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch that whole thing this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Watch it. And
It's a must-see.
Again, I don't want to spoil it, but there's a plot development later that, again, imagine trying to push it.
Quite provocative.
Now, yeah, but again, not treated as provocative. Like, ha, isn't it funny? And now you're like, wait, no.
Bill Burr posted a clip yesterday from Match Game. And I guess one of the contestants, or one of those celebrities, did something and went to walk into the crowd. and there was this fat woman in the crowd, and she got up to meet her halfway. And who was the host? What was his fucking name?
Gene Rayburn.
Gene Rayburn.
That stick microphone.
The big stick microphone. Gene Rayburn, when she was walking back to her seat, said something like, "Oh boy, the whole studio's rumbling," like he made a fat joke. And Bill Burr put in his tweet, he's like, "This would have gotten you fired."
Yeah.
Like now, it just gets you fired.
Right. Fired and 9,000 think pieces.
Yeah, about fat shaming and how you shouldn't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Can't we just start outrage shaming? Can't we shame people for outrage?
When they're
Can't that be the next
outraged.
shaming?
Should be.
Yeah. You could be shamed for your outrage.
Yes.
That would be great.
We got a timing issue. We got to take a break. Just because Maria Menounos is coming in.
All right.
Is she here now?
Yeah, well, she's making her way, so we should take a quick break. Patton Oswald is here. We're going to talk to Patton's father, hopefully, in the next break. We'll see.
Yeah, he says we can call him. He just
awesome.
texts him. We can give him a call and ask about the flight.
So after we talk to Maria, we'll do just that. And what are you promoting, Patton? Anything?
White power. We got to keep the white race. This is. Oh my God! I'm sorry. There's another show I'm doing later today.
No, you're on the right show.
I'm promoting my. I have a new special coming out Sunday, April 6th.
Nice.
On Comedy Central, and then the album drops on Tuesday, the 8th.
Very cool. More.
We'll talk about that later.
All right.
Well, it's time to bring it down a bit. Yeah, making plans with Jim and Tom.
You gonna stick around for the Sunday show?
You know what? Everybody got their own day. Sunday is the day of the Lord.
You got a day of rest?
I don't like to work on the Lord's day. If the Lord don't work, I don't work. So I fly casual. I fly casual on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna come home and relax and praise His name.
You best have a good show. It's gonna be the 3rd year anniversary down there in the Point Line.
Go home now.
I do believe we will be going to that show.
It's fun.
Lordy, it's hot today.
Yeah.
Why you won't be gone today? Gone.
Yeah.
Hey, this is Dr. Steve from Weird Medicine with another Dr. Steve Medical Minute.
Hi, I was just wondering, for the past week or so, I've woken up and went to the bathroom, and my poop is dark green. I was wondering what causes that.
The spectrum of colors you can see in your stool is broad and varied. The brown color in normal poo is caused by the breakdown of iron and bile that is secreted into the intestinal tract. Here's a trivia answer for you. The brown pigment in feces is called stercobilinogen. Toss that one out at your next church potluck. Poo isn't always brown, though. Bright red turds are a sign of bleeding, usually in the lower GI tract, and need to be evaluated by a healthcare provider as soon as possible. White or clay-colored chodes are a sign of obstruction of the biliary tract, possibly from a stone or even a tumor. Black stools can come from iron, Pepto-Bismol, or bleeding in the stomach. Although green stools can be seen in people who eat a lot of spinach, the most common cause of green logs is blue food coloring found in kids' cereals and yogurts and stuff. Mix it with yellow bile. This indigestible dye makes a lovely emerald green colored stool. Is this bad for you? I have no idea. Be sure to check out Weird Medicine Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Opie and Anthony channel.
Good.
And now, another bedtime story with Jim Brewer.
Listen to this one. I went to Iowa, Dubuque, Iowa. We roll up to this gorgeous hotel. The kid comes up to me. He's got a camera, and he goes, "Brewer, your dad has to go. He has to go now." And I know I've got about 5 seconds to get him out in the toilet or it's over. So I go there. I open the door. And when I open the door, there's shit on my fingers. So I'm like, what is this? Like, what? So I'm looking at his hands. I can't understand where it came from. It's not on his hands. And it's fresh, and I can't tell where it's coming from. So I pull him up, and as I pull him up, I put him in the wheelchair, and I'm looking, I don't see nothing. So I roll him in, and as I'm checking, I can smell it. So I'm like, oh man, I see people looking around, and I look at him, he's got shorts on, and I don't know how I missed it. There's clumps of dung just hanging at his shorts. I finally get upstairs and I'm showering, but when I went downstairs, where I took him out of the car, there's a pile that must have fell out of his shorts, and it's on the sidewalk. It's such a surreal moment in life to see like where we go in life. It's just there's a billion flies all over this thing, and people are just staring at me going, I can't believe someone let their dog just defecate on the sidewalk.
Stay tuned for more bedtime stories with Jim Brewer.
The kids are running wild because school's out, but cool's in. No reason to get antsy.
Cal, where are you getting them? In your pantsy?
It's Valley Gym.
Oh my God.
California is trend-setting again with all the coolest slang and wackiest situations.
That is so grody.
Hey, Jim, did you, hear that Sheila was totes making out with Brad?
Oh, make me want to barf.
Tag along as the crew lives, laughs, but also learns.
Oh my God. Have you heard what's going on in Uganda?
Joseph Kony is full of baloney.
Jim is the queen of the valley, and in the valley, we don't take guff.
Well, maybe you can't hear this. Oops, turn it up. Middle finger time.
That's my grandmother.
Oh my God, you're so old you should call dirt by name or something.
And a special appearance by President Ronald Reagan.
Yes, hello, well, whatever. You're, grody, yes. Gag me with a spoon, Mummy.
It's Valley Jim, coming very soon to a theater near you.
Well, how am I supposed to talk? Like with my butt or something?
The Opie and Anthony Show is back on Sirius XM. Best news ever.
We got Patton Oswald in studio.
Hi.
He was telling me during the break he loved the Ron and Fez stuff we did recently.
God.
Proving that you do listen to this show when you're driving around L.A.
I was late to a meeting, a kind of crucial meeting, because I pulled up and that was still going on, and I wanted to see how it ended.
Right, with the match.
I sat there, yeah.
The matchbook and all that.
Matchbook. Oh God.
We'll get into that in a few minutes, but we got Maria Menounos in studio looking ridiculous.
What the hell?
So
this is
I forgot about the laugh.
I
forgot about the laugh.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
This is like that Galadriel elf woman, and she's just walked into a troll den. Yeah. Pretty. She's pretty.
We are despicable.
I apologize for everything.
Hilarious.
Sorry.
I really regret Patton was going to move over. I'm like, no, you stay, Maria. I'm like, how dumb am I?
You are a
Why would I say that?
What a dunce.
I'm a fool.
You want to sit next to Maria, do you?
You smell very good, too. Yeah, we sit alone in the hallway.
Of course she does.
I'm in Patton.
Okay.
So you have a show.
A reality show.
I can't believe you guys didn't watch it. I'm so offended.
Oh, I forgot you listened to the show, too. I got lazy
You're about to be interviewed by Jimmy, and it's like being bothered at a bus stop by a weird... Hey, you have a show, right?
I had every intention of watching, but I don't know.
I believe you. You can come to our screening
early.
Monday or Tuesday night. I'm sure you would love to do that.
Where are you screening it?
We're screening it somewhere in NBC on Monday night and then Tuesday night as well, with like friends and family and stuff like that. So,
well, that's cool. They let you do that.
Well, I initiated it, and then they were like, "Oh, this is a cool idea." So they did like one for, kind of press and stuff like that for Monday night, and then
are we the
Tuesday.
press? Are we the Monday night or the Tuesday?
I would have you guys on Tuesday.
Whoa,
that's
family
me,
and
my
friends.
opinion, but. Whatever your schedule will work with.
Okay.
She would have you there Tuesday, but she values her friends and
but
cares
she would
about them.
rather us
right.
take the hint and go Monday.
Wait, will you be there both nights or only one of those nights?
Both nights,
okay, good. Make sure
cringing and in the fetal position.
That wasn't a creepy
in some
question,
chair.
Travis Bickle. Will you be there both nights? Because I will be there both nights.
Well, I wanted to make sure that she wasn't going to set us up and say, "Yeah, come, family and friends Tuesday," but she's gone.
We are so Monday people.
Yeah, we really
I would
are.
not
We
dare.
are obviously Monday people.
Hilarious.
We got the hint. It's okay. We'll try to go Monday and check this thing out.
What is the show about? I'm annoyed I didn't see it.
Yeah, now I'm mad too.
I feel unprepared.
I know. Well, I'll just have to play by play, minute to minute, and then when I come in next time, I will quiz you guys.
Yes, fair enough.
On each episode. Basically, it's called Chasing Maria Menounos. And it's a,
the Jim Norton story.
I was just thinking that.
It's a look behind the scenes of my life. We have some kind of interesting dynamics at play in the house because Kevin and I have been together. It'll be 16 years this April.
Who's Kevin?
We aren't married. We don't have kids.
Nice.
We don't know when to do either of those things. So it's kind of one of those questions that a lot of women are kind of dealing with right now. And so...
Anna Kournikova. It's in the paper today.
Is it really? I didn't even see that.
How they'll never get married.
Well, there you go.
They're at a point like, why bother at this point?
Yeah.
But when you want the wedding gifts?
No.
Oh, yeah, you're rich.
No, it's not. But it's not about that. You know why? Because you know what comes with the gifts? How come I wasn't seated at that table? And why wasn't I in the bridal party? And blah, 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 blah. Everyone makes a wedding about them, and it's never about the bride. I don't need a headache. I got enough headaches.
It's true.
This Kevin, though. I don't know about this Kevin. Not marrying you yet. I mean, that could happen today if you wanted it to.
Well,
I swear to God, this is Travis Bickle from Ice. I don't know about this Kevin. He's weird. He stands in a hall. Why you want to be with this guy?
Gonna go to the movies?
When we wanted to, there were some family issues that get explored in the show that kind of prevented us from doing it.
Okay. His family or your family?
You'll see.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. So,
and you got that stuff on camera. They were okay with that stuff being filmed, and that's going to be out there? Or?
Yeah, I mean, for us, like I said, I was just saying, I was in the fetal position watching these episodes because they are so raw and they deal with real stuff that's going on in our lives. And so whether it's the family issues that we have a a lot of different health issues we've been dealing with in our family. My parents live with us, by the way.
Oh, my God.
Stop,
What's wrong with you?
No, you can't.
Oh, that laugh.
Right. I forgot Flipper.
We forgot about the laugh.
Yeah.
It rings out like a song.
That's nice.
Wow. Kevin's here, by the way, and I hear he's a fan of the show.
He is.
Is that real, though?
You don't understand. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not. We hear that all the time.
No.
And then we question the person
I will tell you, he's the one, you guys are the ones that got us into the TLC show with Paula and...
Oh, right on.
90 Day Fiancé.
90 Day Fiancé.
Nice.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
We were listening, and you guys were talking about it every week.
Yeah.
And I would break down my opinions on the show, and you guys, of course, were breaking down yours. And now I have to send him sexy pictures of myself to pretend I'm Paula because he wants Paula.
This is a whole other show. This is just creepy.
90 Day Fiancé,
And
did you see
I'm
it?
obsessed with Chef Nick. I mean, we like...
Well, 90 Day Fiancé, we never talked about the finale because it was a bust.
I didn't have to watch 90 Day Fiancé because I would listen to it on the show. And this is like, it turned into one of those, there's certain movies on Mystery Science Theater where it's like, unless you watch it with the commentary, it's not worth watching. You know, so that's why. It really was. There's no point in
They all
watching
ended
that
up
show.
getting married and there was no conflict.
I was shocked.
It was a big bust in the end.
I wanted one guy to like really, like the Cleveland guy, who looked like fucking Private Pile from Full Metal Jacket. Like I really wanted him to get his stupid heart broken, but no, she turned out to be a nice girl.
There was nothing.
It's been a short amount of time.
Right.
You know, it takes time for a divorce to get his money. It's going to take time. For
there was so much that you thought was going to happen.
Was a legit. That was. I mean, with that one,
I couldn't believe that was legit.
They found love down in South America.
Right.
I think they were a legit couple.
Yeah.
The other ones were, you know, obviously for citizenship.
I thought the Russian girl was flying the coop. Seriously.
Oh boy, did I!
But you know what's funny? She seemed like so disconnected from him, and that this was all a sham for sure.
Right.
And I think that's just how they edited it to make it look dramatic. Because when you see her in the wedding episode, even though they played up the whole vomit thing, and she was so sick and she couldn't do it, I was dying because
by the way,
when
because
you see
of you
her,
guys, how else would we have heard about this show?
I know. Can you guys make people watch our show? Because you made us watch this show.
Hey, you know that's not a bad idea.
Now you got to be okay with him ripping it apart.
Yeah, that's the problem. We can't be nice.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no one
nice
wants to be going. That scene worked
that was
perfectly.
terrific. Look,
I can't wait to see the next scene.
in love.
That's what makes you want to tune in.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to take the good with the bad. This is
kind of
why
want
you
to
do a
see
reality show.
disasters.
You have to know.
TLC loved us.
I do like a good disaster.
They I thought it was like a paid hit every week. I'm like, how is this going on?
Yeah.
By the way, that's actually a good
Wish it
scam.
was.
You guys should work with the network. So we'll talk about your show every week.
I'm all about the envelopes.
Little paper bag, right? The envelope, nice package.
Don't tell him. He'll bring you a bag every week.
Nice.
Like, keep talking.
You got to be careful though, because like I said, there was no point. I didn't need to watch 90 Day Fiancé because
we talked about. We watched it.
It was
here
a better
on the radio.
show on the radio.
Although
than it was on TV.
Although the weirdo on his honeymoon trying to have sex for the first time. That was
Alan?
That was creepy. That was
Oh my
creepy.
God, they were just kind of looking at each other like,
so creepy.
so let's just cuddle.
So I guess
I'm
we're gonna
like,
do it.
We never did this before. I wanted to have the closeness. She was.
We've
great.
decided we're not going to wait 90 days. We're going to do it in 6.
yeah. How about I lock this in right now? Because someone throw me a life preserver at this point.
They gussied her up like a model, and he was like, "Oh, I'm losing this girl."
Right?
So he got married right
Wrap
away.
it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He didn't need the 90 days when he saw what could
She
possibly
knew
happen.
every
with
day
her.
was one more day she could find someone else that was much more worthy.
She pretty much kept asking, "Where's Johnny Depp?"
yeah.
How
Exactly.
insecure was he, though? Like, one guy winked at her on Hollywood Boulevard. He's like, all right, let's go. Let's
we'll get married next
I
weekend.
don't like
Next
you talking
weekend.
to him. I don't. There was a Johnny
Comes
Depp
the bride.
lookalike.
Here comes the bride. Come on.
Yeah.
That was brilliant.
Star
But in
80.
Hawaii, man.
Yeah.
Ugh. What kind of sex you think that was? Ugh.
Probably not good because she's beautiful, but she wouldn't turn me on because she was too innocent and nice, and like that wouldn't do it for me. Like,
Yeah, you need a little filth.
Well, no. The problem was because you actually no. I think a guy would find that sexier. He was just not the person to lead her,
Right.
Because then you can lead her where you want her to go, and then that would be hot.
Yeah, they were
right?
both just inept.
Oh, like this weird Svengali, like, I'm going to build this one from the ground. First, a couple of words in Italian, if you know what I mean.
Getting back to your show, you said something in there about editing.
Yeah.
Are you all right with the edits they're doing with you guys?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. For me, when I'm like saying I was in the fetal position, it's because it's so raw. I mean, we're fighting about various things and going at each other really hard in it. And then you've got the fact that, we had some health crises in there. We've got the courtship of ours that was ruined and how all that kind of happened so that people will understand why we didn't get married 15 years ago. We go back to Boston and kind of where everything went wrong and all. We really like delve into things.
Right.
And so it's hard as someone who knows television to say, cut that, I'm uncomfortable, because when you are uncomfortable, it generally means it's good.
Yeah, that's the good stuff.
So I think that the show, because we were so raw and honest, because I wouldn't do it otherwise, because what's the point? To me, like, I'm on TV every day. I don't need that, especially if it's going to be...
Yeah, so why are you doing it?
Well, if you do it, you got to say... No,
I'm serious.
No, we were terrified to do it. We were.
But what was the reasoning?
I'll tell you, because this guy... Tell them.
Which
okay,
version do you want me to tell?
We used to... I will not name names, but we used to live next door to a reality show family. A very successful one.
The Mansons.
And
Season 3.
Kevin would be like, what the F are we doing wrong? He goes, these people are living the life. They're having parties every day. They're drinking in their yard, having a great time, and we're working our balls off. Like, why aren't we reality stars?
Right.
Even though he still didn't want to be on camera, he's like, you need to do this. And I'm like, I'm not doing this. You're out of your mind.
Right.
And so we said no a million times. And then finally we were like, you know what? Maybe the very thing that we're resisting is the very thing we need, because it actually forced me to go home after Extra, be home with my family, which to me is, a
Awful.
dream.
I saw the pause. I heard the pause in there.
There was a pause.
There was a pause.
There was a pause.
Sorry, Kevin. Sorry.
So, I mean, all of a sudden I was actually able to have a glass of wine with my family. I'm like, this is kind of cool. Even though it's kind of creepy and scary to have people in your house, eventually they become family and you get used to it. And then you're like sad they're leaving. It's like the Wizard of Oz. I was Dorothy, like, why are you guys leaving?
But I'll tell you from a business standpoint, the end of the business, Maria's in, the entertainment news business. I mean, you talk to probably Sam and the younger generation, they're all getting the news on the phone. So like this, in the last 15 years, we've just watched it. Right. Can be compressed. Like you guys in radio, look where 20 years ago, where
tell
it was
me about it.
to where it is now. So, you have to open yourself up to other things to get more eyes and ears on Maria's brand. And, there's a risk involved, obviously. And I was just, for me, someone in the background, I wanted to take that risk, because, like I said, I don't like where the business is going.
You just sold me on the show, and now I'm going to watch. I thought it was going to be a fluff show.
No, actually, no. Trust me, because I've seen those shows where they're like, oh, gee, Tom, do you think we should go do this?
Right.
Cut to, there they are. I'm like, I will hang myself. It will not happen.
So it's not a sister reality.
No.
Where they give you guys things to do. I hate those shows.
And they always get, I'm not pole dancing all of a sudden. That would actually probably get me viewers, but you know what I'm saying.
That could work.
No, but when they, it's funny when we were doing, they gave us the some of the tips on the press and stuff. They were like, don't, to me especially, don't say this and don't say that. Well,
right.
One of the things they didn't want me to say was,
here we go.
No, from the beginning they would walk in and say, okay, today we're going to do this, this, and this, and I'd be, excuse me, and then Maria's dad, who's an old school Greek immigrant who, he'll fly off on the handle in 2 seconds.
You guys are going to fall in love.
You can't tell this guy
hilarious.
anything. You can't tell him what to say. You can't tell him what to do. He's a very, very stubborn guy. So he was even more so like me. Like, I'm not doing this. I'm not saying that.
Right.
And this was the battles back and forth. And that's why the shoot, it was supposed to be 2 months because they probably thought like, we'll shoot 3 or 4 days. You'll do X, Y, and Z. And then it went 8 months.
It did.
Oh, that's better. That's the way
way better. Relax.
Well, we kind of brought it back to the Osborne format where they're shooting and shooting and shooting.
Yeah, you'll get the stuff. Just relax. It's there. But we want to be real. And I kept saying, guys, I want the show to succeed. I'm not. Maria's already a star. I don't need to make Maria a bigger star. I want we're in now, so we want the show to succeed. How's the show going to succeed? It's got to be real. You can't cook this.
Oh, good for you guys.
Yeah, 8 months is a great time.
That's why it went a long time. And there were days that I was pissed at Maria about. One time we were about to get in a huge fight, and I just walked by the producer, said, they're shooting your dad in the garden, picking tomatoes, and I said, "You guys want to get some real shit? Because I'm going in the gym right now, and I'm going to blast Maria. And if you really claim to be reality show producers, you're going to grab this." And they did.
No kidding.
Oh yeah. So, but that's why
I blasted him back though.
Yeah. Well, always. Yeah. No.
That laugh, I forgot.
As you might guess.
Wow.
Anyway,
all right.
But it's the only way I think. I also think that everyone's smartening up when you watch these shows.
Yeah.
Don't you guys know now when it's cooked?
Well, I don't know. When those Kardashians go shopping and they play like the fucking midget entering music, I love that stuff.
I used to love reality shows, and then it was obvious they started filming these things in like 4 to 6 weeks, like The Real World. That's where I started with the on MTV.
I still love it.
And those things were 6 to
The Real World are still good because they're just.
But they were 6 to 8 months,
right?
And the shoot was at least 6 to 8 months.
Well, here's the thing: they just got smarter and realized you can still get enough crazy in probably 2 months. They're still raw. Trust me, because I've done the after shows for them and hosted their reunions.
No, Real World is but that's why it's so compelling and the challenge. And then you think of
so we're smart enough to know that that's what works.
It's cast to beautifully these days. Yeah. They get the beautiful people.
Not only is it cast beautifully now, after season 3, that's the one where they get where that was San Francisco.
That was great.
Puck rolled.
Yeah. But what happened was then they realized, okay, we just got to fill the 7 categories.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
And they just fill 7 categories with the hot version of that category.
It's so obnoxious.
Yes. And then so there's no surprises anymore.
Right.
Someone's going to say they have the hardcore right-wing Christian, then they have the kind of anarchist, and they have the babe in the
gay
woods.
guy.
And then they just throw them together and they go, oh my God, the hardcore Christian got the gay guy sad. Can you believe this? It's a crisis.
Yeah.
It's like really like every other fucking season you do.
Yeah.
Well, and with us, we were like when they were talking and meeting all of our family and friends, one producer was like, she's too quiet. I don't like him. I'm like, well, I don't care. These are my real friends, and that's it. And by the way, wouldn't it be great to see my best friend since the 7th grade and I, the way we normally are? When I go to Boston, I stay at her apartment. We get into her pajamas. My favorite thing about going home to Boston is she always has the best, big, comfy, warm pajamas.
Slow down.
We eat our ice cream.
Slow down. Oh, man.
Sounds like my friendship with Patton.
When we go on a pajama frenzy.
Absolutely. He hates when I smell the feety part of his, but it turns me on.
But the best part about them is that they're all our authentic friends, and they actually end up being great characters because they're real. Joe, of course. Joe just got harassed on Ellen the other day because I was on Ellen.
Joe Gear is a guy that's been my best friend for about 20 years. And Maria's as well. He's a big guy, typical Boston guy, tough, straight shooter. He's been living with us for 10 or 15 years. And
how big is this house?
It's
circus car. I forgot.
Like the circus car, all of a sudden there's like more people coming out of the house.
Yeah. It's a big house. But the thing is with Joe, when they were doing the reality show, Sunday we get together for dinner, and they would tell Joe, no. And I said, he lives in our house. You don't find it compelling that we have this big guy from Boston who's been with us for 15 years. I'm like, and then I'm sorry if you don't find it compelling. He's part of our family. He lives in the house. Joe, get to the dinner table. And like, these were like the battles.
They're going to try to tell you
who
who to sit with in your own house?
Yeah, because, that's just how this is. But that's, like I said, where
But you guys got
just,
around most of that, it sounds like.
We fought back. I think
because we
were
were
able to fight back,
producers on it.
but
so.
also Maria, I think, because thank God she had the celebrity. So that gave, if we were situation in Snooki season 1, they would have rolled right over us.
Good for you though to not go the easy road with it. That's smart.
Yeah,
that does make it. That's like Paris Hilton came in, delightful interview, but she
very
really open and fun and really lovely. But she didn't.
But how much Russian history can you talk about? That's the problem. It's like, I get it. I don't need to know every czar. Let's talk about fingernail polish, maybe. Come on. Let's have fun. Sorry, go ahead.
There's absolutely nothing going on there with her.
But that's why
we were trying to be. We were being nice too.
Yeah.
She got pissed off at us really quickly.
Cranky. But I think that's why it failed, is because it didn't feel revealing and it didn't feel. It felt like assisted reality too much.
Right.
Like there's certain things they probably have to say.
But how do you explain the Kardashians? I hate that show. It's huge.
But see, and I have to say in their defense, when I watch, because I know them very well.
Oh, you can't piss off the Kardashians.
No, it's not that. No, because I wouldn't bring it up.
That's your business.
Reality show mafia.
Next subject.
No, I wouldn't bring it up. I would have just let it skate by. But I do think when I see what's going on in their real lives, they actually do play it out. So they are very well. That's why they're so successful. You can't take that away from them.
I think when I watch the Mob Wives, I'm a fan of all these shows, but the ones that succeed, it's the real essence of them is coming out.
Right.
So no matter where you stick the Mob Wives, you can put them in a coffee shop and say, I don't talk about Dreeters here. By the time they're done, they're arguing about something that they're very passionate and that they believe in. I think the Kardashians is the same way. Because
you kind of know that the Kardashians were really rich, and this is not a created life. Like this probably is their actual life, and even though it's enraging for the rest of us, that's how this family lives. So maybe that's the attraction to it. I don't watch it, but I guess that's the attraction. I'm babbling. Nothing.
I'm babbling.
Nothing. I'm basically admitting I don't know what I'm talking about, but I'm saying a lot of words. How about I just shut up?
Yeah, so hopefully you guys will like it. Like I said, we'll bring you a couple bags and you guys can talk about it every week.
All right. What's it called?
Chasing Maria Menounos.
All right, okay. And it's on TLC?
It's on Oxygen, not OWN. Oxygen at 10 o'clock on Tuesday nights.
Oxygen. How many episodes you guys got?
10.
Nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 90 Day Fiancé was what, 6?
That was 6 episodes.
Oh my God!
That was 6 episodes.
That was it.
No. It was appointment TV though. Like we never missed it, and then we were listening to you guys. And Kevin's like, "Okay, I need your take before we hear their take."
Maria's got the go. He has a good take too.
Yeah.
I thought in the end they were all going to be a bust.
Maybe I almost respect.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Do you think it's too soon?
Absolutely. And I also think they'll revisit. And I wouldn't be surprised
I hope
if they don't
they
throw
revisit.
Power in them a show.
Yeah.
You know, her following went up like 5 times after once you guys mentioned.
Yeah, we were twittering her.
She's pretty happy with
Oh,
us.
she is delightful, though.
Him, not so much.
She's a good follow on Instagram.
Literally, Kevin, every episode would be like, "Why can't you be more like Paola?" And I'm like,
what a great girl.
She is good. And those Instagram pics are very nice of her.
So why didn't you guys ever
Very
get married?
pleasant. Yeah,
Kevin?
what is the problem?
Kevin thinks he's going to get younger.
Oh,
no, I always
shit.
say, you know what? I think I can do better. I mean, I just think it might be better.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a joke, but obviously. But the first year was, as you'll see with the show, we had a lot of conflict. And then after that, it was just like, really, why? We were just so
got busy with our
punched out
lives
and
and
tired.
careers.
And it was, Maria's career just exploded so much that every year was like, really, a wedding. And now we're married in our heart, so it's like, the pointlessness of it. Maria wants something small and intimate. If I say do it, then let's do it. Let's go with the wedding of the millennium.
Okay,
and
so
this
now
is where
that's
we
the
fight.
problem. So when I do get sentimental, like Valentine's Day this year was the first Valentine's Day I haven't worked in a long time. So we actually spent the day together, and I did get sentimental and kind of romantic.
Sorry.
Even though I'm the dude, sometimes I'm such a dude. I looked at him like, oh my God, I don't know, maybe we should, and then my dad will get off my back. And so I was like, but the problem is my idea of a wedding is get married in a teeny church on a cliff in, an island in Greece and with just 10 people. And his idea is, no, it's my day.
Laser tag.
I'm the bride.
Absolutely.
And
laser
I
tag.
want the Kardashian, like, extravaganza wedding. And I'm like, for an introvert who doesn't leave his office, like, literally, he does not go out of, like, his realm. He's a bit agoraphobic. To want this massive wedding just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense.
I have a solution. Oh,
Gotta
God.
move the needle.
Why don't you do both?
move the
Have
needle.
2 ceremonies. Some people do that. Like they were doing a 90-Day Fiancé. They were going to go
That's
to
right,
Colombia
Jimmy.
and have the second
That's
ceremony.
right.
So you have one little delightful one on a cliff, and then you have the big bash, and everyone's
See,
happy.
And my idea of a bash would be everyone come dressed casual. I don't want everyone having to go buy some outfit and all that annoying stuff. I'd want a keg.
Right.
Well, lots of kegs. I'd want like a keg
I'm
party.
fine with that.
Everyone comfy.
But a
Kegger,
giant
red
keg
cups.
party.
Yeah.
See,
Giant
I
cake.
would make everybody dress like it was the Renaissance. I want people. I want people spending a lot of money on shitty clothes that they'll never wear again.
Oh, it's like dangerous liaisons, powdered wigs, beauty spots.
I am getting ideas.
Yeah.
Just don't FaceTime your wedding like they did on 90 Day Fiancé. How brutal was that?
Yuck.
They set up a.
By the way,
a
the
compu-
ceremonies were
Do you
pretty
remember-
They
lame.
set up a MacBook. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
No. The poor Filipino girl who was marrying, what was his name?
The guy with no money.
Yeah,
Louis.
Louis.
Louis. Okay. When they ever went to that little like hall that they were going to have it at, and the guy was like going over the menu, and she's looking around, she's just like horrified.
yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
How is it worse than where she came from?
That is
How do
true.
you do that? How do you do that to a Filipino bride?
Yeah.
It was crazy. She couldn't get her wedding dress.
I know.
They couldn't. I was like, oh my god, I'll pay for her wedding dress. Please let me chip in.
What was it? $200 you couldn't afford? I think it was.
Yeah.
Oh God, I remember that was so uncomfortable.
Well, I think it was just
So
because
bad.
she was so hot in the Philippines. Then she came over and she looked like Chow Yun Fat, and he was like, you know what? I prefer not to do this.
God, we love that show. We might have loved it a little too much.
I
don't
know, but I agree. I think the final episode was a bit of a letdown.
Yeah, we never did it.
Because they were all happy.
But
We
see,
never
now
did
that's
it.
where we wanted some scripting, because wouldn't it have been nice if they forced the Russian girl to like
Something.
not show up? Like that
Right,
would have been
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, or tell him his disgusting smoking is really turning her off.
Siggy breath.
Siggy breath.
Siggy breath.
I love
We
it to be
had
outside
Siggy
sucking down a
breath.
ciggy and then roll in, fucking smoke around his head like Pigpen.
Bananas.
But they'll do another season of that. They have to.
I think so.
I mean, it was.
Yeah, but they'll have to find somebody that like is really in it for the wrong
Yeah, of
reasons.
course.
I'm
Because
sure they
otherwise
will.
it's not as entertaining. I don't want to watch that again.
I was convinced
Guys,
one of
Jim
them
Norton
was,
sitting
but-
right here. There's your next season.
That is true.
Yeah,
I would love to do that.
And then you ditch her.
Oh, my Lord.
You're the one that vanishes. Where'd he go?
Right. Kevin, what's your career in this whole thing?
I own an online broadcast network called AfterBuzzTV. So we produce after shows for all your favorite TV shows. So that's why once you told me about 90 Day, I was like, well, how did I miss this? Because that's all I do is watch TV. And we have 200 hosts that do these after shows and report on all the shows. And
It's an online thing.
Online broadcasting, yeah. So we're video, audio. We're
Where is
actually
it?
the first, and now we're the largest online.
Where is it now?
LA. We're out in LA.
No, I mean the website.
AfterBuzzTV.com.
I'll check it out.
Stuff's on YouTube, iTunes. I mean, like the model we have is the early model for someday. If you when you guys ever would want to walk away from this, like you could easily. I've told Sam this many times. You guys could set up so quickly literally out of a garage. The way Corolla does it, except with us, we're also audio and live streaming. We're video and live streaming. He's audio.
Yeah, we need the video angle too. It's obvious.
And you guys were the
so obvious
pioneers
to
of
us.
that, and then you got away from it.
No
I think
kidding.
You just pulled the cord too early. You know.
Well, it wasn't us.
We didn't pull no cord.
Yeah, they pulled it.
They did.
They won't let you.
Yeah.
No, they
roll
took all.
cameras
You try to
in yet?
plug it back in.
They took all the cameras out. It was we were on our way.
Yeah.
This merger was the worst thing to happen to
Why
us.
did they do
But
that?
by the
That
way,
doesn't
you
make
guys
sense.
contractually, if you wanted to set your own stuff up, you could do that, or could they stop you?
Yeah. We're allowed to
Believe
take
me.
Polaroids and
Don't
show them
ask
to
for-
friends.
Don't ask permission. Just ask for
Right.
forgiveness.
They're going to bring a caricature artist in.
Yeah.
Just get it stopped.
Yeah, the guy that drew the Unabomber.
I'm surprised we're still allowed to Instagram at this point.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
frustrating
They want to
because-
just control this. It's like, no, there's so much more to this, and then try to figure out how to make money out
I
of
mean,
it.
because the
See-
show is still growing. I know you guys probably don't realize it, but
I
it-
will
you can tell
say
it is.
Yeah.
the thing that's great about when you have that kind of resistance, because I've experienced it for 14 years in various situations in various ways where everyone wants to hold you down. You literally get so resourceful at creating a way to get around it
Right.
that you get so much smarter, and there's just it's kind of a great a better way to do it, rather than having it all come easily and having everyone be like, oh, you can have whatever you want.
Right.
Then you're left to afterwards, like, say something happens, you don't really know how to kind of survive later.
Right.
It's weird. I don't know if I'm explaining it properly.
No, but I think a lot of guys have gotten an easy ride in the business, even in our business, and then all of a sudden when the bottom gets pulled out,
it's called shit hits the fan.
Yeah. And they don't know what to do. But I think sometimes when you have the
then you
adversity,
figure it out.
and I know it bums you guys out.
So I guess we got to leave in
I wanna
October.
hear you guys talk about it.
We leave in October and everything will figure itself out.
Here's what I've also learned too. Like, at some point when you realize that you're not going to get any wind for your sail, then it forces you to create these other opportunities that you would never have done.
Right.
And then you soar. So it's like, it shows you, you know what, maybe I don't belong here, wherever here is. And that's okay. Maybe this is the brick from the sky that's telling me I need to forge a new path.
Is that a Bette Midler song?
It isn't.
Yes, you are the brick beneath my wings.
That isn't a Bette Midler song.
Do you ever know that you're my brick? Yeah.
You know what's so frustrating about these guys is they have fans on YouTube that put together videos when they go over like a Joe Piscopo thing or that Happy Days episode. They'll match your radio to the video, and it's goddamn brilliant. It's
and that's why
there. So if they had the capability to stream, like, okay, go and watch what we're watching right now, we're going to comment on it. It's just so amazing.
And with today's technology, it would be
so easy.
Pennies on the dollar. I could set this whole place up for you guys for such an alarmingly small amount of money.
Well, we should talk.
And absolutely, but I mean, I can't believe that they would have I'm just befuddled.
There's an opportunity there. It's obvious.
Absolutely.
Man,
and
what to fly it up.
Well, I think with that, with Access, with Cuban's station, and Maria knows Mark, but I know you guys do too, where he's only doing, that kind of live stuff. And I see some of the stuff that's on there. Some of it's very good. Some of it's not high quality.
He needs better content.
Then you have Audience Channel where Artie is. I mean, there's a lot of places this could go on terrestrial television, but then even online. And maybe it's not all caught up yet. But the technology's there, and you guys obviously have the fan base, and the fan base keeps growing, which is cool. So
they gave me a little crap when I was doing live from the compound. They don't even like that.
The Ustream thing. They did
a little bit.
I have a CB radio thing. I have 40 truckers.
The key is their whole. I'm not saying anyone in particular, but generally their goal is to see if they can hold you down, to see if you will relent and be like, fine, and there are the people that will just keep bitching and bitching and bitching and never do anything about it. So as long as you guys are the ones that they create these other holes quietly, Kevin calls them like building your bombs behind the scenes, you know?
They think that we're going to use content that we would use here, but meanwhile I was doing simulcasts of toddlers and tiaras. It's like...
Yeah, but it's what you were doing to yourself while you were watching it.
Yeah, the picture-in-picture crotch cam is what bothered people.
Was that
they didn't need to see? Yeah, that
see, I didn't know.
Yeah. Too much content.
On the next Mason.
But seriously, I think you got to create a win-win. That's the whole thing. It's not so much going around them. I think it's creating a win-win scenario. So, where Sirius is a publicly traded company, their thing, if you notice, which is why they do some of the stunts that they do to get publicity, is because they always have to please a stockholder. So, maybe it's getting video on this. And maybe it's just the interviews that go up on YouTube, but having enough serious swag around, so we always know that the brand is always getting out there. I mean, there's a sensible way to do this.
You're too logical. I'm sorry. I can't listen to you.
I'm going to talk to
It gets you off the radio.
No, he's right.
I'm going to talk to Tim Sabian.
We've tried every angle. It's ridiculous. And then you see everyone else passing, satellite radio by.
Yeah.
These guys had a huge,
Patton just already
huge
said
lead on everyone.
You have fans that are already putting this stuff up that they're not stopping. Right. So the toothpaste is coming out of the tube anyway. So why not?
And the fans are finding those YouTube channels. That's why we have no problem watching a video now, because it has a whole life of its own now.
I listen to YouTube.
Yeah, thank you.
The Joe Piscopo thing that your fans put together is epic. It is a 4.5 hour epic film. It's so gorgeous. It really is. It's amazing. And you follow this whole story, and they put the whole thing together with pictures and video. It's a masterpiece.
One of the better days in recent memory was when Anthony came in and said, guess what I saw last night?
I couldn't believe what I was watching.
We got weeks out of that. And then he came in a couple times.
The Showtime special.
The whole thing is on
as one
YouTube.
thing.
As one
to come in.
It's a saga. It is a fucking saga.
That's great.
Yeah.
Of Club Piscopo.
And may I just say, I cannot wait for you guys to watch this Mason special.
Yes,
this
I am.
pilot, because that's going to be a whole episode.
Yeah.
And all I got to say is, when you watch it, imagine if it came out today. it would shut a network down.
Yep.
The outrage.
Absolutely.
On this thing. And it was a fun family. Yeah, cute.
Yeah, a little fun.
This
Why
is
not?
Mason Reese?
Yes.
Yeah.
What about Mason Reese? I heard it on the way in here. I'm like, wait, why?
Well,
how do we get a Mason Reese reference?
Yeah, exactly.
He had a pilot because he was really popular in the 70s. So they shot a pilot, and he was an adorable kid, really smart, and they shot this pilot. Yeah, quirky looking, interesting, and this pilot that it is the most casual kind of child molesty humor.
Child molesty.
It was like an ABC Family pilot, but you're again. I'm actually underselling it. I'm not telling you what is coming down the pipe. When you get halfway through the episode and go, is this the plot? This can't be the plot. So,
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. I think we got to get you guys out
He
of
was
here.
the white Rodney Allen. Is that true?
No, we don't want to go. This is fun.
Oh, you don't have to go. But
I don't know what we have to do.
we heard you only had...
Hang on. I need a new ringtone. Would you laugh again, please? Sorry.
Oh, wait. I found someone with the most ridiculous laugh at the airport. I wish Pat was here.
And you challenged them?
No. It was the TSA guy, and I thought I insulted him at one point because I was like, oh my God, he has the worst laugh. It's even worse than mine. And then I'm like, oh my God, he could get me in trouble, and I didn't even realize.
Oops.
Yeah.
What was he laughing at? Probably wires he found in someone's shoe.
I was telling Kevin, I'm like, he should do drops for radio or something because he was like, whoa, like that at the airport. I'm like, it's already creepy enough, like when we're flying because we're so scared.
Right, yeah, to have that
creepy.
Price.
And then it ended up with, he's like, people always get scared of my laugh. And I'm like, yeah, because it's creepy. I go, and then people think mine sounds like a machine gun. The two of us would be bad together.
Yeah.
Evil.
Now for the body
I
cavity
wish we had his, because we recorded it. We recorded it. Yeah, like
Did you?
Yeah, it was amazing. I'm like, I need this in my life.
Now, what part of Boston are you guys from, and how did you meet?
Medford, Mass.
Oh, Medford.
Medford.
Both
Wait,
Medford.
I almost heard the accent there.
Yeah.
Medford.
No,
Oh, yeah, no.
kidding.
I have a
Good old
hardcore
Medford.
accent. The problem is when I'm drunk or tired, it comes out.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Do you try to hide it? Because like newscasters always try to keep their accents down so they don't have like a location.
Right.
I didn't try to lose it. What happened was when I went on camera the first time in college, it went away because I felt like I had to be like professional. It was like something that came over me, and then eventually it just stuck because I would go in and out. So when I'd be on camera, it would be gone, and then when I'd be back to being, my regular self, it would come back. So producers would get so nervous because they'd be like, "Don't talk like that." On camera, I'm like, I don't know, but it goes away on camera. Don't make me nervous. So
Wow, yeah, I can really hear it when you consciously don't.
Right.
Yeah.
And how do you guys meet? College?
It's such a beautiful accent.
I met him.
Sexy.
It is.
It's wicked. It's
like
wicked.
French.
Horrible.
Yeah, why aren't you phone sex with that accent?
Yeah.
I'm taking my top off.
Who's your little cocksucker?
That was the biggest shock when we went to Boston to do radio, was how they talked. Like, how the hell are we going to fit in with this?
Right, now I'm grabbing your cock. Oh, hang on. The Celtics game is on. God damn it! It's a little defense. Sorry. All right.
As you guys know, no more loyal fans because you guys in Boston,
they embraced us.
That's I mean,
that was pretty cool.
My favorite city. I love fucking Boston.
They were great. I miss Boston. I miss
food.
going there.
I don't know if you guys agree because you've been here for a while too, but Boston food is the best.
In what way?
Every way.
Yeah.
I still have yet to have good pizza from this place, and everyone talks about New York pizza.
John's Pizza.
Yeah, there's some great pizza
in the
downtown.
West Village.
Yeah.
There's no good pizza wherever I go. I just find
I just named one.
Terrible.
When we come in and out.
It's
That's
always old
Sparrow,
and dry, and it just
Times
sits
Square.
there for hours and days and weeks.
Like the
The Sabaro family and their little Times Square location.
Sparrow. Aren't they going on
Steak and cheese subs.
Oh, remember steak and cheese subs.
Colin and I go to a place. It's right off. It's by the Comedy Cellar. It's off 6th Avenue. I don't know if it's John's is the place where you can only order a pie, right?
John's.
Yeah, this is not that place.
Yeah.
Right around the corner from there. And
well, they better learn how to make pizza if they're near John's.
I follow this guy
Amazing.
on Instagram. He was a producer of The Chew. We just did a segment with him the other day, and it's like NYC food guy or something. So I follow him, and I start taking notes. So when I come to New York, I can actually find good places.
I swear to you got to ask Roland.
Okay.
Roland, you give him a type, he'll tell you the best in that. Off the top of his head, it's creepy.
Really amazing pizza.
Well, he said in Connecticut is the best
and
pizza in the country.
not paper thin pizza. Like I want real awesome Pizzeria Regina pizza.
Pepe's in Connecticut. I've never been there. I think that's what it's called. He'll tell you that it's in New Haven, and it's supposed to be the best pizza anywhere.
Really?
That's
On the way home, we'll go get some.
Here comes your answer right now.
Oh, Roland knows everything
best
about
pizza.
food.
Best
Don't
pizza
screw me, because I will tell people publicly that you picked the wrong pizza place.
in New York City.
Ruby Rosa.
Ruby Rosa? Where's that?
It's 235 Mulberry Street.
See?
Honey, will you remember that?
He knows.
It's like literally the best pizza. It's thin, but not too thin.
Yeah.
And the sauce is amazing, and it's actually pepperoni from Italy.
What about the place in Connecticut you love?
Pepe's.
Can you write both of those down for me?
Yeah, that Pepe's is delicious. So.
We're serious about our pizza.
Which is better?
So you're going to go down...
It's too different, though. New Haven pizza is totally different than New York pizza.
Would you go to Little Italy just to try the pizza now?
I mean, yeah, I would go.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd go wherever. As long as time permits, I'm down.
But if you're healthy...
It's all about the quest for good food when we have time off.
Right.
How do you stay so thin?
How do I stay so thin?
Yes, darling.
Because I'm a tornado.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Work it off.
I just move. I'm always moving, like at top
Well, an extra,
speed.
they don't. It's probably a half a mile from the set to where you guys shoot.
I actually got my best body working at Extra because we have to walk so far to get to set, and I don't take golf carts or whatever. Generally, so I'm like, shum, 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 shum. Everywhere I go, I'm moving at top speed.
But then you get sweaty.
Oh boy.
Not really.
You keep the
Luckily,
sweat
I'm not
down.
a sweaty person.
Yeah. All right, we should get him out of here.
Not before we talk about Chef Nick, because I am obsessed.
Who's Chef Nick?
Chef
I don't know,
Nick.
guys. You introduced us to this too.
It was the YouTube.
I remember the guy that.
Oh
No,
my God.
The
fake chef.
The fake chef. Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
Anything? Do you guys remember? Is
Yeah, no,
anything
of
more
course.
Brilliant than this guy.
How do we get this guy to do more?
Yeah,
I know.
He was really good.
He's one of those like culture jammer pranksters, so he'll pop up when he's ready. He
He takes his time.
He waits.
Like Al Qaeda.
Fixes
Al Qaeda. He just takes it.
I know. Thank you for introducing us
For
to.
all we know, improv everywhere is Al Qaeda. We just don't
pranksy.
know.
Distraction.
I mean,
What's your theory on the plane, Maria?
Wow.
I actually asked my assistant to do research for me to see if Obama or any of our top officials have canceled events this week, because that would let us know that something seriously crazy is going on behind the scenes that we're not being alerted to just yet.
There's no Super Bowl this week.
Maria got her start with nightly news, and like that's the hardcore journalist roots. Dateline. There's all this other Today Show. Like Maria's done all that stuff, so she always keeps me up on.
I mean, the
this stuff.
fact that it was in the air for so many hours is very creepy.
Yeah,
concerning.
And the other thing is that they said, I think it was Stephanie Goss that reported that the pings only continue when they're in over water, that when you hit land, they stop.
Really?
Whoa.
I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I have to double check that. So
I wonder why that is. Oh, maybe because it's so easy to get lost in over.
Well, there's like, it happens every, there's like every hour or whatever when you're over water, it pings.
We're going to talk to Patton's father about this after the break.
Call my dad.
Ex-Marine guy.
Yes.
Be a Marine pilot. Gonna call my dad.
Yeah,
Yes.
well, and they stayed within those aviation, I call them
lanes?
buoys.
The little buoys in the air.
In the air.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
They're lanes.
Air lanes. Yeah.
They're air lanes.
it's really scary, because if this is the,
What a smart question, though. What politicians have canceled any type of an appearance or an event? That's a smart angle to look at.
Thanks.
That's something.
Tricks of the trade, I guess, right?
Yeah, I was just kind of Googling in quotes, missing plane. Something would pop up that helped me.
Yeah. Well, because nobody wants to scare people, and then especially if this plane has been hijacked and is somewhere on land, and, but we're sophisticated enough to know that by now. We would know by now.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know.
But what's crazy is when you guys were talking about,
I think we're that sophisticated.
third world country, and they don't have the means to really kind of lead this investigation.
Yeah.
It makes me wonder as a journalist when I'm traveling to all these countries, how scary I put myself in these situations traveling on these random airplanes in
Don't
these
you
random
feel better
countries.
though? Like I looked at the plane and was like, it's painted nicely.
Yeah.
They can afford to have the best equipment. Just because the paint job is nice, I'm thinking it's safe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, apparently, though, this was a 777, and the pilot, these are the elite of the elite planes, and the pilots that get to fly them are the elite of the elite. So this wasn't some... I think what's freaking people out is we are so used to everything is available all the time because of iPhones, because of the internet. So for something this big to be missing, that's what's scrambling our heads.
Right.
Is, well, we should just be able to, can't we just, I mean, there's part of it's like, we should just be able to do a Google search and find it.
Yeah,
You know, but no, it's still a giant world, and there's places that we don't know where things
You're saying
are.
it's not one of those planes where it's like, have a good flight, Dr. Jones. The chickens. And
But you guys were right too. When I don't remember who was saying it this morning.
I think I was.
What's against
Jim was right.
Yeah.
What, who's to say that someone didn't show up at this pilot's house and
we were talking about that.
Give him a little what have you.
an early hijacking of him, but these pilots, when they get into the cockpit, there's so many kind of ways that they could signal, I think, without someone knowing. But what if the person's highly trained and they're watching and they know what they're going to do? I mean, it's
or you just turn the guy.
Yeah, maybe they were
send it your way. You go, you know what? Yeah, I like your way. No,
you don't have to crash it. Just land it here.
Josh is saying from Boston, the planes she's talking about continue over land and water, but stop when they go underwater. The pin. That's what he's saying. But
so that means it could have crashed or it could have.
That's if he's right. That's if he's right.
Of course.
Because I already said, I'm like, I think this is what I heard. I was 100% right.
Me and Pat's having a heart attack, and then we have to go.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
You guys
Wait,
are busy.
Pat Lambert?
Yes.
Can he bring the creepy laugh in so they can hear it?
No, man, we got to go.
Oh, it's
You
so
guys
good.
are
I'll
late
let you guys hear it.
for your next gig.
We are tardy.
It's called
Chasing Maria
Menounos.
Maria
on Oxygen. Tuesdays at 10 o'clock.
Yes.
Nice.
And you can watch her
Thanks,
on
guys.
Extra every night during the week, right?
Extra.
Extra.
Right.
Have you met any celebrities?
I think a few.
Did you do red carpet for the Oscars?
Yeah.
You did? Was that cool?
Yeah, it was actually. You know what? For Oscars, I generally just do the fashion, so I'm above. It's a little easier. I can be in my Uggs and not have to have the pressure of interviewing everyone.
Oh, okay.
Just looking at everyone's fashion.
Well, those are always
fun.
comfortable, genuine interviews they do. It's like really nerve-wracking. And even seasoned interviewers are having trouble with the actors because they're all panic-stricken and it's really awful.
But do you still panic when you have to interview, or feel the pressure of interviewing?
No, I mean, it depends on what you're interviewing about and what the situation is.
Right.
I mean, for the most part, you know what you're doing if you're prepared and you do your deal.
Nice.
Although Guillermo was getting everyone drunk at the end of the red carpet, I went up to him and he started interviewing me, and I was like, "What are you drinking? I smell it on your breath." And he goes, "You want tequila shot?" I'm like, "All right."
Wow.
Who's that?
So I think that calmed people down for the rest of the carpet.
Bunch of goddamn drunks.
All right, let's get them out of here. Kevin,
Bye, guys. Thank you so much.
thanks for coming on the show.
No, you guys,
I hope you guys like the show.
Thank you so much.
Take it easy.
Right
Good
on.
luck. Good luck with the show.
Patton Oswald's father next.
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
That's a big
We're gonna call
get.
him.
Get to the bottom of
That's
this.
a huge get.
Opie and Anthony have been creating radio gold for 20 years. Not bad for children of the 80s. Digging through the history, here's a 20th anniversary Opie and Anthony radio gem.
Let's go to Brooklyn. It's Andrew. Andrew, what's up?
I have a fun fact too.
Yeah.
So the Space Shuttle Endeavour, the Space Shuttle Endeavour, the parts of the Space Shuttle Endeavour was actually built.
Wait. The what?
Space Shuttle Endeavour.
The Special Endeavor. All right, wait. It's hold on. There's something wrong with the phones. Andrew, right?
Yes. Space Shuttle Endeavour. That spacecraft was actually built to replace the Challenger, and
Something about the Challenger. Andy.
I can't hear.
What? You can't hear him either.
No,
what ship was built to replace it?
Endeavour was built to replace Challenger.
Are we talking about? What are we talking about?
It's about Space Shuttle Endeavour was built to replace Challenger, and the parts that were used.
The what Endeavor? I didn't hear that.
The Space Shuttle.
What? Yeah, okay, but which one, bro? You talking
which
about
one?
The first one, and then there's another one. What? Because my.
All right, the phones are working. Go ahead.
You're gonna have to start over. Sorry.
Start over. Sorry,
Andrew. Go
Andrew.
ahead.
This sounds really interesting.
The Space Shuttle Endeavour, the shuttle that replaced Challenger Endeavour, was actually built with spare parts from the shuttles Discovery and Atlantis that were left over when they were finished build.
From
when they
what?
finished building both.
The Atlantis.
No, I said Space Shuttle Endeavour. It's spare parts. The parts that were used to build it. Excuse me. The parts that they used to build the Space Shuttle Endeavour came from...
Said it again. Yeah, it came from...
It came from Space Shuttles Atlantis and Discovery. Because they finished building... They finished producing the Space... Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm sorry. I have a bad phone.
No, continue.
No, your phone's fine, dude. It's a good phone. That thing was messing up, though. So what? I don't understand, though. You're saying the spare parts were used from Challenger?
No, excuse me. I'm saying Space Shuttle Endeavour. The material that was used to build Space Shuttle Endeavour.
What about the other space? What's the Challenger?
Yeah. So that was built to replace it.
Endeavour was built to replace Challenger, and the spare parts, all the parts that were used to make Endeavour came from Discovery and Atlantis because they already finished building them, and they stopped producing space shuttles after Atlantis.
Right.
Atlantis was built in 1985.
So then,
all right.
So they took those spare parts and made what?
Endeavour replaced Challenger.
Wait, what's Endeavour?
Space Shuttle Endeavour.
Right.
The material that they used to build Space Shuttle Endeavour were leftovers from Discovery and Atlantis.
So the space shuttle.
What did you say? Endeavour.
Space Shuttle Endeavour.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Thank you for that.
Well, it is Fun Fact Thursday.
Mush mouth.
we all learned something from Andrew in Brooklyn.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks, Andrew.
Who's that old guy over there? Uncle Paul, with the creepy old guy stare. Uncle Paul, now he's coming over here, slowly limping down the hall. It's too late now, 'cause here comes Uncle Paul.
Let me show you how to make a big boy love you.
In today's episode, Uncle Paul reminisces about a young Macaulay Culkin in the movie My Girl.
I was crying a lot in the theater when I seen that one. I couldn't see through my tears. I had such a big lump in my sweatpants. I love that movie. Look at that. You're all rough. You got leaves on you. Come here. Let me muss your hair up. Come here, Macaulay. Look at your denim coat. I cried so hard. He got the bees all over him. I was like, be careful. They're gonna start stinging you on your penis. Gotta get someone to suck the person out. You got little bee stingers in your penis. Why don't you come over here? Let me get the bee Your beast. Let me pull them out with my teeth. I'll rescue you.
Who's that old guy over there? Uncle Paul, with the creepy old guy stare. Uncle Paul, now he's coming over here, slowly limping down the hall. It's too late now, 'cause here comes Uncle Paul.
They're rich, and they pee, but they're done. Sirius XM.
All right. Patton Oswald in studio, doing the whole show with us today. Very cool, man.
Yay. And we cannot say it on the air because somebody will take it, but let's just say Patton has given us or sold us, however he wants to play it.
No, it is my gift to you guys. You know what? It's my gift because this is something I would want to see, but I won't say what it is.
The idea for what we are going to do once we do not, or if we do not re-sign in this place. Fucking Patton is a genius.
That is good.
I love it. How great was Maria Menounos?
She's, dude, her sexiness almost makes me sad. She's so fucking fantastic.
I got an honest question for the room.
Okay.
Who really wanted to take that picture with her? Her being so beautiful.
Oh, yeah, it's very hard.
I did, just to stand next to her.
Oh, God, I got...
No, are you kidding? I don't want to be... That was like when I did young adult. I'm like, I have to take my shirt off with the most physically perfect... Like, I can't take my shirt off with John Goodman or, or Paul Giamatti. No, it's got to be with...
Kathy Bates.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, I don't want to be... It literally looked like she was sponsoring a little troll family. She was an elf, and once a year they go and they help a little troll family to do. Yeah, that's what it looked like.
She's a smart woman.
Yes.
By the way, and I know she was not doing this on purpose. She generally, when she hopped out of her chair and she was going over, she was like, "Oh my God, look, I got these marks from the chair on my
saw that. I noticed.
And I was like. But she was like showing me, like, look, check this out. I'm like, it was like a Benny Hill sketch. Like, do you think there's something wrong with my cleavage? Yeah.
She's like Jackie Kennedy Boston sexy. Like she's fuck that Greek Boston drives me crazy. I would just lick her fingers.
I got her makeup on you. My shirt.
You better watch when you go home to the wife with that little makeup on you.
We are like four creepy merchant marine guys that.
She's like, let's take a picture. And we all were like, oh man.
I love taking a picture.
Penn said she looked like a 60s spy.
She does. She looks like Emma Peel from the Avengers.
Right.
That's how she was dressed.
The little skirt, the hair was like 60s-ish.
High boots.
Yeah, just fucking sexy.
Yeah. Dancing in the background of the Dean Martin show. Gold diggers.
Yes, exactly. The
going on.
Gold diggers.
Yeah.
And 8 months they took to film the show. It's probably good. That's a lot. It's a perfect time for reality show. It's not like a fucking 2 month quick shoot.
After talking to her, now I understand why she did a reality show.
Yeah.
She wants to keep challenging herself. She has a very easy life in entertainment, but she's bored. Wants to try to do different and new things.
Yep.
We got Patton's father on the line. We've been teasing this for like 2 hours.
Sorry. Dad?
Yeah, how you doing?
Hey, what's up? It's your oldest son, Patton, the one that went into show business and broke your heart?
Yeah.
All right.
Hello, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's Anthony and Opie and Jim Norton and your son, and you on the phone.
Yes.
That's what's happening, Dad.
We
Sorry.
got a little of your background from Patton, a Vietnam pilot.
Yeah.
F-4 Phantom. Pretty goddamn cool, I say right there.
No computers.
Yeah.
And you really had to fly that thing.
Seat of your pants flying right there.
Right.
A little bit.
Nice.
A little bit.
And you also were an investigator, an accident investigator?
That's true.
Yeah.
Was that for the...
was that for the Marines? That was for the Marines, right?
Yeah, it was in the Marine Corps and the Navy. I went through postgrad school for that.
It's like, okay, let's look at this crash. Oh, a missile hit it. It's like, oh, that's...
Well, Dad,
a meteor.
A meteor. Well,
right.
That's okay. Thank you for mentioning meteor.
They are speculating.
You talked me down after 9/11 when I was getting a little freaked out about all that conspiracy stuff. And you went, no, this is what happens, and this airliner, this missing 777, is getting spookier and creepier.
Yeah.
And I was going to call you about this anyway, but I figured why not do a public service and let them and go on the radio with you, and maybe you could help us talk us through some of this craziness, because they've been talking about it all morning and it's getting weirder and weirder.
We panicked people this morning.
Yeah. Well, and panicked everybody.
Yeah. Well, first the thing, everybody's got they got to quit making all the assumptions. They got to run with the facts,
right.
And they got to keep a. The first thing they train you is don't. The pilot was a drunk. I'm sure it was his fault. No, you got to go find the facts and see what happened. The other thing is they're flying in areas that aren't really a whole lot of airplanes up there, and we all know that. Mm-hmm. So they operate off these transponders. That's how they track them. The radar is very limited. So they call it skin paint. So when they said they thought the thing turned left, you read that. It's really that's only a real guess. It's not for sure.
Even that part's a guess. I thought that was an actual. They knew that for sure.
Well, they think that's true. I mean, they say, but the one thing that I thought of first was on these airliners the airplanes send data up through the satellites back to home base, probably in Boeing or somewhere, to keep track of engines to make sure that they don't have just problems with them. Right. And they say that kept coming. So what that means is that won't work underwater.
Right.
So that means the airplane was in the air. And if they prove that, then they've got to go out and figure out where this damn thing went in. A 777 is a very large airplane,
Yeah.
and you're not going to land it on a dirt strip somewhere. You just got to be on a regular airport. So, yes, so it's going to be probably somewhere in the water.
But so you don't think that someone stole it and landed it on a little island? That didn't happen.
Boy, I'd like to know what island.
Oh, really? Because
I don't. There's not a tail hook on it, so they can't land on a carrier. You know what I mean?
How about Pakistan? If they were close enough to get to Pakistan, if they did disable it,
Pakistan, that would that's true, and they should of course look into that. But the other thing that's very strange is nobody's saying anything.
Yeah, that's
and everyone's looking at this point.
Odd.
Yeah, and when you say nobody's saying anything, you mean no governments, no nothing. Is that weird?
People say who claim they did this or stuff like that.
Oh, okay, right. No one claiming responsibility.
Right.
But if they have future plans for that plane, which we talked about this morning, like to do something bad with it, like Anthony raised the point of loading it with something and flying it into something, you've already got hostages. There's definitely a reason they wouldn't have claimed responsibility yet.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, but I would, and I'm sure I'll put it that I'm sure they're exploring that. They're looking at all the possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they're not saying a whole lot about that, but I mean, right now they're the whole thing is to find where that thing went down, and right now they don't have a clue.
It's just odd that also the transponder was turned off. They said in a very purposeful fashion.
There's two of them on
with
there.
Yeah, with the other one being shut off 14 minutes later.
Mm-hmm.
Which seems like a calculated kind of move.
Sure.
The lack of debris a week later, not washing up somewhere, anything. There's a lot of floating parts on those planes. That's a little mysterious.
That's true. But also, did you note in the paper? I mean, if you look at the map, how far that thing could have flown.
Well, Patton said that it's amazing how much bigger the search radius is getting every day.
They keep changing the search radius, which that is, in itself is a little creepy.
Yeah,
right,
it just gets
to me.
bigger and bigger.
Hey,
it's getting bigger, and I would have, I don't know I don't have any insight on this, but I'm sure the intelligence guys are also looking at all the aspects you're talking about right now.
Well, okay, then here's my next question. Who would you most listen to who makes the next statement? Because every day the news speculates and the White House is saying, but who is the person that we should actually be waiting to hear speak that will actually have some impact or weight?
Well, right now the
pilot,
the responsibility is Malaysia. That's their airplane. That's their problem. However, we have our FAA is in there with them, and our National Transportation Safety Board. They have those people are in there, and I think they're going to settle them. They've made a lot of calls that were sort of bad at first. Those people should settle them down to make good information coming out of there.
Oh, okay.
I think that you're going to get people with sources saying, "I heard this, I heard that." I would sort of steer away from that, but take it in on one side, but understand that it may not turn out that way.
Well, even if there's an inkling that it was taken for evil use,
sure.
You would think the United States would immediately put this kind of on a top priority.
Well, I believe that. I understand there's a number of U.S. ships over there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure our satellites are looking for it. Okay, right now.
Yeah.
And we don't even know that maybe some of our people with high flyers aren't out looking. Or
right.
So, yeah, I think we're really under the covers.
You think a lot of stuff is going on that isn't being told to the public? Yeah,
I do.
How hard would it be for them if that plot is correct? If Anthony was correct, which he doesn't sound as crazy as I thought it would. How impossible would it be for them to fly from that part of the world to the United States undetected?
It would be pretty hard.
Even without transponders?
Yeah.
Something would pick them up. And also, my question is, let's say, again, Anthony's right, and they stole the plane. How expensive is it to refuel a 777? Would they have those resources?
Yeah, they'd have to have what do they carry? 100,000 gallons? I'm not sure.
What?
I mean, they carry a lot of fuel.
Nice built-in pool.
Pounds. I'm not gallons, pounds. That's how they do it. It takes a lot of fuel to fill that puppy.
And they wouldn't have access to that necessarily.
Yeah, and they'd probably have to have some special ground support equipment.
With some Saudi money, maybe. I'm blaming the Saudis already.
Yeah, I mean, well, there's never been any proof other than everything we've ever heard that would lead us to believe that they're terrorist supporters.
A few million bad apples.
Yeah, there's only a few million bad apples. It's my favorite tough crowd line ever.
It's a real mystery right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel that there are a lot of things going on that we don't know about, and it's probably best not to know about it.
Can you think of any recent or modern day, at least, occurrences that kind of look like this, where a plane has just disappeared like this?
There was one. There was an Ethiopian airplane one time that had a problem like this, and they wanted to go somewhere, and they got there, and they wouldn't let them land, and they had to crash in the water.
Wait, is that the one that was hijacked, and the pilot told them we don't have enough fuel, and there's film of it going into the ocean?
Right, exactly.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, that was just a bad move. The pilots told them we're not going to make it.
That was the one right off the shore, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't recall.
And the other one with the Egyptians, the suicide one.
That
happened, and that was real quick, and everybody's, they knew that. But that's the only one I can think of.
I can't really recall plane disappearing like this.
There's a lot of there's a lot in this that is a kind of unprecedented, in the terms of it's such a gigantic plane, and everybody is looking for it now, and they can't find. When everybody starts looking for something, they tend to find it sooner or later, and nothing's happening. So that's also what's a little weird.
Mm-hmm. Aliens.
The Air France guy, they took took 2 years to pull it up. Now it took. They found it, but it wasn't immediate. It took a while to find that thing too.
But they were getting some debris that was washing up, beforehand.
They found some debris out in the water.
Yeah, they kind of led them to believe, okay, this is what happened. The total lack of debris is really puzzling.
Yeah, that's weird.
Nothing washing up on shore.
Unless they went to an area where they haven't looked yet, or it's
that
so far
search
out
area.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
a lot of blue ocean out there.
I have one more question for you too. Like, we watched a great documentary about Flight 800 TWA, and I'm not a conspiracy guy at all. But the way this documentary was done, it painted a much better picture for the fact that something took the plane down than I would have thought. What do you know about that, or what's your opinion on that?
Yeah. The only thing I'd comment on, the head investigator, I've listened to him. He made a news conference, and he said that is absolute false. He said they had it. They are very solid. They know that was the one the fuel tank blew up on it. Correct?
Yes.
And they felt very comfortable in it. And this guy has got a great track record and background, and I believe him.
Okay.
Okay.
He's not going to go turning on one of his own, that's for sure. They don't do that. Hoorah! Hoorah! Semper Fi!
But the big thing they got to do is just don't make a whole bunch of assumptions. Just go out and look at every little piece, look and run it down until you get to where you are, and look at all aspects.
Mm-hmm. That's what's creeping everyone out, is we have all these half assumptions, and your brain can fill them in.
Yeah, and these some of the
make it crazy.
On TV are awful.
The what?
Some of the pundits on TV are awful.
Really? Oh, bravo!
Wow.
Yeah, good for Patton's dad.
Yeah,
they are.
I heard one the other day. A guy called in and said, "I know what happened. They turned the transponders off, so some country shot it down, and they ran out, and when they did it, they gathered up all the debris and took it in so nobody will find it."
Oh, jeez. That's rough.
A little hard to do, right?
Sure is. Gather a bunch of debris and no one sees it.
Yeah, and that's a guy with a six-figure salary every year saying this.
He was calling from a house trailer.
Oh, that even better. Okay. Well, Dad, thanks. Thanks for getting on the radio.
Absolutely,
with me,
sir.
Enjoy talking to you guys.
I'll see you in a couple weeks.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. I love you, Dad.
I love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Very nice.
Sweet. I wish my dad wasn't dead.
I know. Mine
See,
too.
I
know.
Opie, wouldn't it be great if
God,
our
I would
dads
love to hear
weren't
my dad
dead?
say he loves me too.
Oh my God,
that would roll.
Hopefully, you'll both be able to see them soon.
A couple weeks.
I'll just put another rock on his tombstone. It's the same thing.
Again, every time something crazy happens with aviation, I just call him and he's like, "No, look, this is what's happening. It's not
logic.
that big a deal.
Relax.
Calm the fuck down. They have to search."
He's not convinced, though. He's not convinced that it's not taken, though. He's still.
Oh no, yeah. But again, because he's all about let's chase the facts down instead of just going
what
crazy,
could be some of the coolest footage I've ever seen is that Vietnam footage of the F-4s flying in slow motion, dropping incendiary bombs in the jungle, and you just see the sparks and fire coming up behind the F-4. It's like, God, that is the death and destruction part. You got to kind of take out of it for the moment. Well, you just got to look and go, that is so fucking cool looking.
There is something really creepy when you see stuff like that. I know exactly the footage
I know the
you're talking
shot.
about.
Yeah.
And you go,
you know the shot I'm talking about.
There's that disconnect of that is absolute horror and death, and it looks gorgeous.
It looks amazing.
So how do I process this when you see something that looks that amazing?
And the CCR music, of course, helps.
That Fortunate Son does help.
Like we said earlier.
Exactly.
You seem to be very different than your dad.
Yeah. Well,
are you guys alike in any way?
I think we're alike in that there's certain things. This is going to sound really broad and general, but there are certain things that we just cannot bring ourselves to care about, so that there's, but we never
starvation.
We never. No, like there's a lot of like social stuff that people get wound up in, and my dad was always a certain way about living in the suburbs, and there's stuff I just don't care about here, like that people are getting all wound up about, oh, what's going to happen to this neighbor's doing something weird to this. He's like, I don't care. I don't care. But then there was stuff that I would get wound up about growing up that he's like, I don't know why you care about that. I remember one time too that again he had this. I got my ear pierced junior year of high school and didn't tell them.
Yeah,
I had to get my ear pierced because I'm dangerous, man.
And a big Ed Bradley fan.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm dangerous. You better look out. And I sat down at the kitchen table, and my dad's face. He had that. Here's what was weird about it. He had that look like, okay, wait a second. I don't give a shit about this. Because again, it's like I've been through Vietnam. I've actually seen. But this is the closest this kid's going to get to doing something dangerous and cool. So now, should I maybe react a little bit and roll my eyes so that he can feel it? Like he knew that if I just go, I don't give a shit, I'm like, this is my rebellion. You need to react to this.
Right.
So he did, but he was so not committed to the, oh, so you got your ear, like he was trying to be angry about it. He's like, I just don't give a shit.
See right through it. He doesn't care.
Yeah, I do whatever. Yeah. So there was that kind of, and then I got into that same problem when I started doing stand-up. There were certain things that people told me that you're supposed to be focused on, and I'm like, do I tend to care about this?
I don't care, right?
I have other stuff I'm concerned with. So that's the one way that we're also, I'm very, as I get older, and maybe he was more like me when he was young, but as I get older, I am all about, I want the fucking facts before I go forward with anything. Mm-hmm. I don't care about being liberal or conservative. I want whatever the facts are, and I will follow the facts. Mm-hmm. Give me the fucking facts and the numbers. I don't want anecdotal evidence. I don't want, but I know one guy that, great, you just named one fucking guy. Like, that's how I will go.
I don't want pure emotion.
Yeah, give me the guy. And the older I get, I'm just like, give me the facts first, and then I'll decide.
Yeah.
So that's, and then and then again,
should we, with that, we should get Alex Jones on the phone.
Where's Alex?
Are we trying to get him on today?
Yeah. For real?
Oh, I'm sure
we have him on every once in a while.
I'm sure he has a good fucking
Has he ever burst into tears while you're talking to him?
We goof on him a little bit.
We do goof on him.
Yeah, he's
his friendship with Jesse Ventura.
Yeah. But even he has to know Jesse is a boob.
A bumbling boob.
He has to know that.
Yeah, all those guys.
If you don't think the government knows where that plane is,
Really?
There's a guy named James Adomian who does the best.
Oh, I've seen
Jesse Ventura.
he does the video on. Did he ever do the video?
I don't know if he does a video, but he does.
DeRosa showed us one, wasn't it? DeRosa. It was.
But he literally is. It's Jesse Ventura taken to his logical extreme.
Right.
Like, just come in and say, like, good morning.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning.
How do you know it's a good morning? For all you know, why would you assume? Like, everything. There's no way. And I'm not doing it as good as a don't, but every single thing is questioned.
How do you know?
Just because it's sunny and pleasant, maybe there's a. All right, fine. Well, why do you know it's fine?
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I
was a Navy SEAL. Oh yeah. Well, we weren't even talking about that.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what that has to do with your.
Yeah.
That's also that great thing when people bring up weird. They'll bring up something we're like, well, that's great, but that has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
It's a weird thing into shaming you into not arguing with them any further.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
You know, it's like whenever I'm punching somebody in a wheelchair, they always have to mention it. Like, hey.
That whole thank you for your service thing he did to you. It's like you can't argue with him about anything because he was in the service.
Did you ever see these guys? They have a YouTube. They're called Red State Update, and they play like the most hardcore right wing guys. And they went to Comic-Con one year. And they put together this video. It's like 2 minutes. They just cut it all together. And at first, they're starting off. They're talking to an actual guy who's a Marine. He goes, "I just want to thank you for your service." And then they literally are talking to stormtroopers. "I just want to thank you for your service." Like anyone in any kind of uniform, they thank them for their service. And it gets to the point where they're like literally talking to like Jawas. "Well, thank you guys for your service."
Fantasy game character people.
Guys, like Pikachu guys and Sailor Moon outfits. And they talk to a girl in her Sailor Moon outfit like, you Navy people, just thank you for your service. It's so great. Yeah,
that is funny.
It's great. Yeah. My dad. This is a Marine veteran, but a Vietnam veteran. But he's like, you need to, you have to also. Yes, we need to obviously help the vets, but sometimes you also need to move on a little bit. Or you can get trapped in that world. You know, there has to be a balance. It's all about balance.
Yes.
So,
what's the guy's name that you talk about?
Jesse Ventura. Jesse.
Sam, could you look this guy up?
James Adomian.
Yeah,
That's
amazing. What's his name?
Amazing.
How many siblings you got?
I got a little brother.
Yeah.
Who's did a thing called Puddin'. Did a little series on YouTube called Puddin' with Eddie Pepitone that was pretty funny. It was just, you guys would love it. It's just this guy.
I'll watch it after Mason today.
Break room. They're literally like 8 seconds long. And this guy, Eddie Pepitone, comes in and he's just the worst coworker ever. At one point, there's one where he opens a can of Pepsi and it kind of spurts on him and he just goes, "Touche, Al Qaeda." Everything is just the most hateful.
Do you retweet him a lot?
Puddin'
he is actually. Wait, no, your brother. There's another. Is there another one you retweet that's your name or is your last name?
No. Well, no, he's Matt Oswald.
Oh, it is Matt Oswald.
Puddin' Strip, yeah.
Okay.
And he's really, really funny.
I wasn't sure
is he going into the
brother.
business officially, or?
Well, I mean, he writes stuff, and he does videos and stuff like that. But he has a, and this is, I'm not saying this. This was said to me. This wasn't, but I was hanging out with Judd Apatow, and he's like, "I think your brother might be the funnier Oswald because he retweets his Twitter stuff is so dark."
I gotta follow him. Shit.
Yeah, he's really funny. At Puddin' Strip. He was having his on New Year's Eve. He's like, "Boy, I hope 2014 goes better than birth up to 2013 for me." Like, just all these horrible. His life is just so. He's really funny.
I just yesterday followed a parody account. It's obviously a parody account because it's Adolf Hitler, and and he's really like snarky and anti-Semitic. So
but he's like the hipster anti-Semitic.
Yeah. It's kind of like he's joking. You know, he's just joking. About that.
World banking's in trouble. I have a nose who's responsible.
Shit like that. Like,
what you did there.
I got you, Hitler.
Whoever did that Gary Berghoff account.
I thought it was
brilliant.
I wished it had been me. That was one of the best things.
Dude, it made me so happy. I don't care that it was fake. I love whoever did it. It was a masterpiece.
He was perfect. Just bad-mouthing Alan Alda. And everyone
they kept calling him the turd in capital letters. Looks like the turd's going to be there. Just
was that great?
The only other the fake account I'm following now that I think is so amazing is someone is doing a fake account for the Epcot Center.
Yes, I saw that one too.
Clearly, somebody. It's like
that
it's like an Epcot,
Disney.
Despises. It's also it's their PR person, like their online social media person who's kind of having a lot of personal problems. And is trying to talk about Epcot Center, but keeps having these breakdowns.
I love the little public service things of like an attraction that isn't working for some odd reason.
Yeah.
And stuff. It just so random. They pop up.
Oh, yeah. Please don't.
Jesus.
Please don't leave.
Can we go to this Twitter account? I want to see some of these tweets.
Please don't leave used diapers in the shrubs at the Italian pavilion. And then they do the Epcot Center mailbag. So people ask, like, what kind of acts have performed at Epcot Center? They go, we've had Bobby McFerrin, Michael Damian, and Venom have all played.
Venom.
Oh, hang on, wait a minute. Yeah, this is it's the Epcot Center account.
It's so good.
Turn that screen on.
Oh, Sam Roberts, this monitor isn't on.
Thank you, Sammy.
Here we go.
Question: what is Epcot's maximum capacity? And answer: unfortunately, I can't tell you now because we're having a fire drill. Please be advised that the gentleman who signed hundreds of autographs for Epcot guests today was not Orlando Magic guard Jameer Nelson.
What? It's so odd. It really is. I've been following this for about 2 months now.
Oh, God. Robert Allen Epcot would have turned 100 years old today. The legendary Epcot Center co-founder died in 1984, but his spirit lives on.
When I read that one, I'm thinking, wait a minute, no, Epcot's an acronym. And then I realized, oh, it's a fucking goof account, you dummy.
One of my favorite spots in the whole park is the Innovations Plaza. I like to go there on my break and watch people while I eat some yogurts. It's just... They just capture it perfectly. Someone who's trying to be hip and funny and is failing miserably.
Yeah.
There was another guy a while ago called Dad Boner. I don't know if you ever followed him. It's basically your dad on Twitter trying to be cool. He's like, guys, these new Arby's sliders can't be beat. It's just like trying to be cool and talk to people. And it's just fucking
I love
idiot.
it.
Yeah, it's when Twitter first came out, I didn't get it, and now I see how
the potential.
How you can use it really well. So it's
and the Gary Berghoff one was a perfect example of how somebody
that person, whoever he is or he or she is, needs to pop up and do some other account. And that the Gary Berghoff account was so funny because there were moments. I was like, is this Gary Berghoff?
Could be.
It just kept skating the line.
His whole take on the Battle of the Network Stars was perfect. He's like bringing up names like Dan Haggerty and and the guy that played Pappy Boyington. What the fuck is
He clearly did his research because he got all the clip, like those Battle of the Network Stars clips where he's
clips about how Robert Conrad was an asshole. It's like I could see that.
Oh my God.
That was a good one.
Here's my brother's Twitter from yesterday. Baskin Robbins employee who gave me extra scoop on my Rocky Road cone is the best pity fuck I've ever had. I often wonder how my life would have turned out if back in the summer of '87 I followed that carnival gypsy's advice to kill myself. Holy shit. I know, it's just
a little dark.
Oh, way dark, yeah. Watching an old person eat plain yogurt is the most effective appetite suppressant I know of. Anyway, so yeah,
that's good. Fucking funny, man.
Yeah, he's a funny kid, dark and fucked up.
Oh wait, this is going. I will be appearing at the Virginia Beach Funny Bone.
Oh, Jesus.
March 20th through 22nd. What? I can't quote my own Twitter account? What's wrong with that?
It's a little racist, though. It's a little racist.
Yeah, Al Sharpton mentioned.
Does Al Sharpton know that his microphone's on? I know other people have brought this up, but I've never seen a screamier person on TV
because he's outraged.
He's always angry and snarling
but he's also
growling.
Beyond that, he's just bad at broadcast. I've literally seen him go, today Mitt Romney came to a town. And like, wait, what is his prompter on? What is happening? At least give him something to talk about.
He is always yelling.
It's kind of fascinating.
I wonder what that's about. He has no business being on TV.
I think it's that preacher thing, that reverend thing, you know? You got to yell everything.
Well, probably, yeah.
I
have to piss.
Yeah, why don't we take a break? Patton Oswald, where are you going to be, sir?
Next week I'm in Boston at the Wilbur Theater.
I see that. Very cool.
And then on Saturday I'm at the University of Rhode Island. And if you can't make those shows, why not drive up to Virginia Beach and watch the Comedy Silence of Jim Norton? He'll be bringing some laughs on the sand.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't want to blow the whole thing, but I walk on stage now with a Malaysia Airlines hat with my arms out, like going,
wow,
really an attention grabber.
That's inappropriate.
No, I mean I'm not making fun of it. I'm just, and I launch right into a 4-hour bit about it. What I think happened.
4-hour bit.
Yeah, but I do it all as Iggy from Taxi.
Wow.
You really come out and see Jim in his charts. Because he's got a lot of string and a lot of thumbtacks, and they're all, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no humor at all. I've kind of turned into Lenny Bruce when he was reading court papers. It's just me with fucking FAA charts.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of diameters on maps.
Yeah, you're trying to fucking tell me this plane landed? Fuck you!
The uncomfortable, scared audience.
Relax. The Opie and Anthony Show will be right back on Sirius XM. After 20 years, you would want a break too. But the guys are back now. Enjoy. It's the Opie and Anthony Show on Sirius XM.
If you held through the break, got a chance to see the WWE Raw at Barclays in Brooklyn, March 24th. Talking a week from Monday, right, Sam Roberts?
Oh, yeah? Is it reasonable?
Well, it's free if you win.
Oh, that is reasonable.
I got to read the slug line. For the latest happenings in WWE or to see when WWE will be in your area, visit WWE.com/events for tour dates. But we'll take a random caller right now to see Raw in Brooklyn.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and you hit those W's very well on
WWW. I had
W. That's the old days.
How about double-do?
Double-do. Remember when you used to have to go, what's the address? And people would go, http://www.
Honestly,
it took forever.
Honestly, we don't need the www.
No, you just fucking say whatever.com.
You can Google now in the fucking in the address bar.
That's right.
Yes. There's a guy,
magic.
Peter Serafinowicz, British comedian, does a character called Brian Butterfield. You should look it up on YouTube. But whenever he gives an email address, just call www.
www. Wow.
You're turning us.
We've had a couple of older gentlemen here as guests that aren't quite hip to the internet. And when they try to give out their website, it's just hilarious. They always miss one W. It's www. And they just don't know what they're saying, and it's adorable.
Hey, it's going to happen to us too. You know?
Of course.
Hey, Rich Little looked pretty fucking good though when he was in here. Considering
he was great.
Yeah, he was a really. I love old school guys like that.
As far as old school guys know, and no one will ever beat Tim Conway.
Tim Conway was great.
He gave you guys so much shit.
I started hiding.
No, he was fun though. I did enjoy him.
He's also really funny. If you ever he and Harvey Korman would always fuck with each other.
Yeah.
So I went to see I went to see a show, but he was. It was at a theater, but he was in an upcoming show, and he had clearly written his own bio. And so it was him and Harvey Korman, and they both were clearly fucking with each other in their own bios.
In their own bios?
Like, consider the comedian's comedian, but Harvey Korman, and he has a wife and children who he's never met. You know, so and then Tim Conway was like, consider the comedian's comedian. So it's just, everything with them is just...
Yeah. They were fantastic. Yeah, obviously.
But Conway made him believe he had dementia. He just stood here.
What? Who?
Remember when he walked in and just stood right there?
Yeah, they're always just doing weird things.
And he got Jimmy so good with one thing where he was like, who? He said, you mentioned someone from the show, and he was like, who? And you started explaining to him who it was with this sad look in your eyes, like, oh no, I'm telling him who the people are he worked with.
Well, Colin did point out, I think he looked at the cover of his book where he's like looking up to this, and Colin went, ugh. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I wish I would have pointed that out. Fucking snarky old jizzbag. What about that? Fucking
like legend, though.
Yeah, big deal.
And I was surprised Colin didn't come out when the DeLorean broke down. So
exactly.
Shoving it down the street.
Oh, Jerry, you know, what do you think I have it back for? Hop on.
I'll just put you guys around. You can, film it.
I think you were still shell-shocked from the Jake LaMotta interview with Jim Conway, because I was here for that. I just sat in the back and was watching.
You were here for that.
I fought Sugar Ray so many times it's a wonder I don't have diabetes.
Yeah.
And then you kept going, yes, because of the sugar.
Yes.
I recover every single time.
Yeah, you just can't fuck with Jake. He's the last living one from that era.
It is. Yeah, he's the guy.
That was a sad day.
When he started talking about the show he does, though, and his wife, whatever, started
and she's
saying,
like, no, he wants to do this. We're like,
no.
we let this guy retire.
And she kind of buttonholed me afterwards and was like, so you wanted to, I heard you wanted to come to the show. I was like, no. But you wanted to get I heard you wanted to get the information to tweet about it. Is that what you wanted?
Oh,
no. Well, let me give you the information. Do you have your phone? We'll tweet it out right now.
Oh, boy.
And then I kind of totally, I didn't bring my phone with me. And it's
doesn't
in my pocket.
It's ringing.
Yeah.
You're panicked.
What do I do? He's just
Bring a phone
assaulting me.
I'm not
Let's
tweeting
get
this.
that tweeted out right now.
Yeah.
I liked that. Although Jake did notice my boxing knowledge about how I understood what his defense was. Just a couple of really.
You could have said anything.
You're right.
You would have agreed to it.
You're smart. That's true.
Yes, your defense.
I think I said crackers are delicious, and you said you're smart. Yeah. But he's Jake, man. He's fucking. That motherfucker was that life and that abuse and those fights and that old school thinking. And he was a professional before World War II broke out.
That's just unbelievable.
Those hands were like the thumbs were permanently back from they were back further than normal thumbs, and the knuckles they had been so broken and healed. They were just like these little metal knobs. It was just they weren't even human anymore. They were just this evolved,
just made to punch with.
Exactly, just punching machines.
Yeah,
you think his hands ache?
I bet he can't feel them.
Whole
I bet
body
there's
must
no feeling.
Right?
Yeah.
Apparently, Phil Collins has no feeling in his hands anymore because all the years of drumming, the nerve damage, he can't hold drumsticks anymore.
Jeez.
So there's an interview with him in Rolling Stone that is one of the most depressing. And I like Phil Collins. I think he's great, but he is reached this point in his life
where
he's
miserable.
He literally talks about I guess it'd be okay if I just died. What the what?
Well,
Phil?
How about you get a fucking prenup, dumb Phil? Stop trusting everybody. He's been through 11 divorces with no prenup.
Crazy.
What a schmuck.
We met him.
Yeah, we met him, and it was just depressing.
Where'd you meet him?
He was
here. I got a picture with him.
He came in here to do the show.
No. But
we
we went into the green room, and I was very excited because there was a time I loved Genesis.
Oh, man.
And I tried to tell him, which I guess is kind of stupid anyway. I'm sure he's sick of hearing that. But he didn't want anything to do with us. He just wanted the pictures done and us out of there.
I told you were the best singer in Genesis, but when you did Shock the Monkey, it really I think it made him uncomfortable.
I'm sure he wouldn't have liked that.
That affair with the Rosanna Arquette you had must have been amazing.
Right.
Wasn't me, you wanker.
There was a guy on hold for 3 hours. I was finally going to go to him, and he hung up.
Finally?
He's saying that the Band Bossy YouTube video has been taken down because of all the ridiculous comments.
Band Bossy?
I don't know if that's true or not.
Dumbest.
I think the Band Bossy thing is going to be a bust.
Well, I think it should have been banned just by us knowing.
No, it's still up there, right? I figured the guy was wrong.
Because Beyonce,
I figured I'd use it just to talk about it.
People listen.
Dumb.
She's delightful.
Guys, I understand that words hurt and words have meaning, but you are just trying to find words
at this point
and make them. I wish somebody would do a fake campaign. Just think of some ban moist. Actually, you know what?
I do every time I get naked in front of a chick.
The word moist is more offensive than and more creepy
Yeah.
than bossy. Moist is more
Moist.
gross.
Oh boy.
Yeah, moist.
The kid's not gonna be
Moist
happy.
is worse.
No.
Moisture.
Moist.
Moisture. He
Yeah,
uses.
moist.
Ban
No,
moist.
he says moisture.
Ban moist. It's
Yeah.
offensive.
We can get that
Very
trending.
mean.
I tried it, but it didn't catch on.
No.
Yeah.
No, what word did I want to ban? I don't even remember. I tweeted out to ban somewhere, and I don't remember what it was.
Sharing.
Probably, yeah. No more sharing. Enough of this stuff.
I hate to bring up.
Or ban. You know what I like to ban? Interface.
Yeah.
We need to interface on this.
Yes, unless you're
Shut
talking
up.
about coming.
Oh, for the love of God. I keep forgetting where I am. I'm getting lofty. And cock. Oh, okay, that's right. Got it.
I hate to bring up a douchey moment from our careers, but when we were in Boston, we decided to come up with a word, "kunk" for girls.
Oh, well, it was for the genitalia, really.
Right. And it was just an excuse to
almost say cunt.
Yeah, on our show.
Yeah.
And then remember they came, it's douchey. I mean, as you look back, of course it's douchey.
Yeah.
But at the time,
Right.
it kind of took off a little bit with our dumb little fan base. And then remember they came to us and said, we're not allowed to
Couldn't say it anymore.
Kunk on the air.
Kunk.
And I said, but it's a made-up
We
word.
made that
we
up.
made this up.
Well, it's
we're not
close
going to
to
get
the other one. We
fined.
know
But
what it means.
They were always worried about the FCC. I'm like, it's a word that isn't in any dictionary.
We know what you mean by it.
Remember that?
That's
Maybe they just thought that they knew the bit was douchey and they were trying to help us.
Maybe
move
that's
on.
maybe that was it. Oh, you
That
guys
is
are
kind of
assholes.
gorgeous that you made up a word and in real time got it banned.
Got it banned.
That's how offensive it was.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty good outcome.
Hullabaloo. That's a word we should get rid of. That's an uncomfortable
Hullabaloo is
word.
What Hulla did to me.
Well, there's a British magazine called Viz, and in the back of every issue they have the thing called the Profanosaurus, and they make up new curse words to apply to different situations and slang words, and it's gorgeous. Some of the things they come up with, like new. God, what was one of my favorites was they keep coming up with new terms for like really bad bowel movements. Right. So they have stuff like Meatloaf's daughter, and just like oh my God, but it's like pages and pages every month of this shit. They're just trying to think of how do we get by like fuck, cunt, shit, and stuff like that, and it's pretty amazing.
Those are tough words to forget, though. Fuck, cunt, shit. Like, those are really,
they work.
They're the standards.
They work.
Yeah, they still work, right?
They're great words.
Yeah.
But the whole banning word, I kind of like ban bossy in a way because it exposes that mentality, that embarrassing mentality in the country.
No one embraced this.
But it's embarrassing that that this is really being taken seriously by some people.
And Beyonce has songs with the word bitch in it.
Yeah.
Which makes it
What a fake.
I know.
so
And also,
hypocritical.
it's good to be a bossy. You're in control, and people are looking to you to get. It's not an insult. If someone goes, "Hey, you're kind of bossy." Thank you. Now get that shit done.
Yeah.
Right. And by the way, Tina Fey, when she was stumping for Hillary Clinton, she's like, everyone says Hillary's a bitch. She is a bitch, and bitches get things done, and that's good. She reclaimed. That was awesome. No, but that was like, yes. Why are you? I remember I had there was this girl I used to go out with years ago. She's like, I don't know why girls treat the word cunt like a nuclear bomb.
Yep.
When I hear the word cunt, if someone says cunt, it means I'm winning the argument and the guy is flailing and desperate. And it makes me laugh. Like I've never been offended by the word cunt. It just, to me, it is, that means you're losing and you're free,
It starts a whole new argument is what it does. So you're probably losing.
But some people, but what she's saying is, she goes, I don't know why women give that word the power. Whereas what she said was, when a guy yells cunt, you should go, oh, that's, you poor guy. Really? It came down to cunt?
You lose.
So I guess we're done.
Yeah.
Cunt was never an atom bomb with girls I dated. There was always other things. Like, it was never.
Really?
Nah, it's just they're dating me. I'm a pig. I have a vulgar humor. But you know what I mean? Like that wasn't a big deal to those women.
Right.
But there's other stuff that would have bothered them or whatever.
Yeah.
Another girl's name.
You guys want,
exactly. Yes.
Want a Tim Conway Dick story?
Oh, really? What?
Okay, sure. Carol,
Jay.
you're on the phone.
That's quick.
Oh, wow.
That Jim Norton is quick. Jay, what do you got, buddy? Staten Island checking in.
I heard a story. It was on HBO, and I believe it was Mel Brooks that
that Harvey Korman and Tim Conway were outside the studio and they were drunk, and the tourist comes up to them and asks them where someplace is, and he pulls out his dick and shows the vein. He says, "Well, if you take the 405 to," and was pointing at his vein and his dick. I remember him saying.
Oh yeah, giving someone directions on his dick.
I don't know if that's true, but I want it to be true.
Yeah, of course.
Especially
I'm pretty sure I really heard that.
Especially if the guy that approached him was like a Carol Burnett show fan. Like, it's a wonderful Sunday night show, and the family go, Mr. Conway, and he just
whips his dick out and starts showing the vein highway.
Here's the thing. I don't think that story is true. I really want it to be true.
Yeah. I'm gonna repeat it in the future as true.
Just make it
absolutely with a different person's name. Yeah.
Hey, how was Jimmy Fallon? Did it last night, huh?
So much fun.
Yeah.
So much fun. That, he's made the show an event again where they try to do, so, I mean, not every night the event happens, but they pull shit off that then goes viral. So when you watch the show, you feel like, oh, I'm up on what the internet's going to be all freaked out about the next day. Like, oh, I saw that last night.
Did he try to do them with you? Or?
Well, we ended up, we just had you can actually kind of talk to him. Like it's like you're hanging out with someone. So we had planned a segment, but we kind of went off the rails a little bit in a fun way. And we started talking about my employment history. My brother had made this thing for my birthday where he burned onto wood. I found this place, they do these really nice wood burnings. All the jobs I had before I became a comedian. They're just awful. And we went through each one. And I just started kind of talking and bad-mouthing all these places. and he was really, and it was at the point where it got so good that he was like, what about this one? I'm like, oh, that, okay. And then I talked about, and I was laughing so hard that I missed what the band did. I talked about there was a record store called Waxy Maxie's I used to work at in Northern Virginia. Yeah, Waxy Maxie's. And I got fired because I mouthed off to a customer because they were playing, the two other people I worked with would play, it was all during the 80s. They were like playing Mr. Mister. And I wanted to play like the Dead Kennedys' Frankenchrist. And I just got fired. And then when they played me off, the band played Mr. Mister's Broken Wing.
Oh, no kidding.
The Roots played Broken Wing, and I missed it.
They fucked with you.
And I went over there to thank them because they played me onto this song by The Coup called The Magic Clap that I did a video for. There's this lyricist named Boots Riley who is the best lyricist in hip-hop, period. And I've been a fan of them, and they asked me to do a video. So the Roots found the video, and they played The Magic Clap when I came out. I was so happy that I went over to thank him for The Magic Clap. I'm like, we just played Broken Wing.
That's funny.
I'm like, oh God, I totally, because I was laughing so hard about what a douchebag I was at this record store.
Do you know how good the Roots are? I did Fallon a while before they had the Tonight Show, and they play. I didn't even know they did it. We used to make fun of Van Halen doing a song called "We're Back." It was like a made-up song that I made up. Like Van Halen's new reunion song was going to be "We're Back and Better Than Ever." It was awful, and they played me on to "We're
Isn't that
Back."
amazing?
What?
They played that. Like you didn't notice. I was so fucking. I'm walking out. I'm just so worried about bombing.
Yeah, we know. The first time I did Fallon, they played. I do a bit about when you listen to the Chipmunks Christmas song "Slow Down," and the Chipmunks sound like normal guys, and that guy sounds like a demon, basically. And they did that when I walked out, and I missed it because, like you, I'm like, I don't want to do badly.
You're walking out. Yeah, I was actually telling a story about losing my wallet in a tranny bar, and so I was concentrating on, not forgetting any of the facts.
I want to get every nuance of the story down.
Right.
Oh, and thank God you guys were harping on that Eagles song, "Get Over It."
Yeah.
That fucking. And that was at the height, by the way, of like the whole grunge thing, and it was like them coming. We're going to come back and show these.
Here we go.
These youngsters.
What's what?
Show
like,
show them how it's done.
Was it something that annoyed you?
Oh God, that drove me. I just keep thinking about it. I don't know what to do. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Henley.
Yeah, but you're crying and whining and pitching a fit. Those are good lyrics.
I wonder what they would do to my my inner child if they could. Is that lyric not up?
Yeah, where's that
What
one?
lyric?
Which
They-
one?
If I could find your inner child, I'd kick his little ass. That's one of the lyrics in the song. I swear to
Oh,
God.
God.
It's just so
We haven't played it that.
I thought pitching a fit was bad.
Yeah, we didn't
Yeah.
play it that far yet.
Yeah, well, that
Pitch in the
Henley.
fit.
We can
That's
only
like an
handle
older
30
man.
seconds of that.
Yeah.
That's an
Yuck.
older man trying to sound like a young, hip.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I'll smoke up a reefer, you know.
That-
whatever.
And I love Henley's voice. Always have.
Well, you know, that documentary, the first half, it's a 3-hour documentary.
It falls apart.
Well, no, it doesn't fall apart. What happens is the first half, the first 90
It's
minutes,
amazing.
you are rooting for these guys. Like,
Right.
yeah, these good for them. And they're living underneath Jackson Brown, and they're learning how to write songs, and they're young scrappers. You're like, way to go. And then at the exact halfway point, when the band breaks up and they start their solo careers, you go, oh, these guys are huge douchebags.
Oh, now
I forgot
Right.
that. I forgot
Yeah.
what horrible. And I also love, because you were doing the, you're watching the video of You Were Born in the City.
Yeah.
So when Glenn Fry's bragging, it's like, yeah, I did The Heat Is On and You Were Born in the City. And they pull in on the Billboard chart. And the You Were Born in the City is number 3. Number 1 is the Starships We Built This City.
Oh, no.
Number 2 is that heart song of like What About Love? It was like all the douchiest music by people you used to like.
Yeah.
So it was that era of people from the 70s that were awesome now doing this crappy synthesizer awful like comeback stuff. It was like,
Overproduced
yeah, that's when you had your solo career when everything was awful.
Wait, you didn't like We Built This City on Rock and Roll? That gets me pumped.
Well, it is the song I do my abs to, but it doesn't mean I like it.
That's a guilty pleasure. Come on.
Oh, man.
Who counts the money?
The money, look out.
Underneath the bar. Whoa, I can't believe the radio is letting them play this. I mean, they're just laying it out.
Shit.
You had a funny joke years ago. I saw you at the in the fucking Improv in L.A. And you were doing something about Jack FM, and you were like, how unpredictable it was. Like, we don't know what they're going to play.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was such a perfect fucking, like,
complete
section of
bullshit.
shit that was.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know what we're going to play next on this computer printout they handed us. I mean, Jack, what's going to happen next? I don't know. You're going to play one of the 10 songs you play in rotation?
Crazy.
Maybe? Yeah. Well, it's also like I hate when rotation do that. We're doing the Labor Day weekend countdown of the 500. Yep. In other words, it's our normal playlist in alphabetical order. You don't want to miss it.
4th of July, the Firecracker 500.
Then they feel like they're getting clever by going, well, this time it's Z to A.
Yeah.
We're going backwards, starting with ZZ Top.
You might not be able to take it.
Oh, so bad.
You Belong to the City has put me in a bad mood.
I'm sorry.
Thinking about that lame song.
But do you know what they did with that song? They had local traffic reports for every city.
What?
No, wait,
you didn't know that?
Yeah.
We
built this city.
We built this city. I'm sorry.
They used to, they put in their own when it was like,
that traffic
about
report?
San Francisco.
But every city had their own version of that the band cut.
I remember BAB.
That's how bad they wanted that song to work.
BAB played one, and it was like, traffic on the Northern State Parkway.
Right. Sorry, Jimmy. I was thinking that before.
You're right. I remember that, and that was actually, I hate that they did it, but it was brilliant. It was brilliant that they did it because it worked.
Remember, you guys were going over the "You Were Born in the City" video, and I couldn't see it, but I know what the video is. She's like, "Look at that cigarette dangling," and he went, "What a dipshit!" Like the guy's trying to be cool, but he's dangling.
Sometimes the simplest thing just works. You don't have to get too.
So
too deep with it.
Even if you've never seen the video, you could visualize everything you were looking at. Just the weird the jacket kind of open, the cigarette dangling. Look out, man! It's like, dude, you're 47. Just calm down.
Yeah, those horns make me upset.
And we still don't know where he was walking to. Just walked all night.
Yeah, just like a smoky night with a girl.
How about show us the destination finally?
Yeah.
Boys of Summer is a great fucking post-Eagles song.
Boys of Summer that's a terrific
Love that
song.
song.
And that's actually a song that's one of the few songs where he acknowledges, I'm getting older, it's going away, and I gotta face this shit now. Like, that's kind of cool.
It's like what I'll do is I'll bookend that with Summer Nights by Grease, and it's got like a whole summer theme, the young and the old.
Oh, Jimmy.
I do. I was actually listening on Spotify. I was listening to the Grease which is odd because I own it. I was listening to the fucking soundtrack. It's great.
I do got to say, they had one of those Grease sing-along screenings, and so I went with a bunch of friends to make fun of it, and then we all ended up just sitting there going, I think we know all these fucking words, singing along. Like
Just having a good time.
I mean, and not just Grease Lightning and Summer Nights. We're just saying, hopelessly divided. I'm like, oh my God, do I know all these goddamn words?
Yeah, not only do you know, but like what you say it the way she did to you.
There was things I could do. Oh my God, I even know Rizzo's song.
I think you secretly wanted to go there, Pat.
Yeah, come on, that's a goddamn great film.
Yeah,
it is a goddamn great film.
Certainly is.
You know what he was doing with her in the sand? You know, telling her to turn over and pretend she was a guy.
But no,
hey, could you turn over? Hey, Sandy, pretend you're Kaniki.
I just love the fact that in John Travolta's gang there is the one high school student who is clearly 54 years old. Is that the guy that ended up on Gary Shandling's show later?
Yeah, the curly hair guy?
Yeah, he's in his 50s. They didn't even bother.
High school.
Yeah.
Well, even Rizzo being, it's just a high school girl. Really? Stockard Channing?
Don't you got to go pick up your kids right now? God, how hot was she in that movie, though? God
Stockard Channing?
Stockard Channing in Grease.
Really? You liked her?
Oh, are you kidding? She just looked nasty. Like,
she did,
awesome.
But
because he sounds like a drag. Oh.
Yeah,
God
exactly.
Damn it!
Sounds like he wasn't slinging dick properly under the boardwalk. Sounds like he wasn't filling every hole you have, sweetie.
That's hot, huh?
Yeah, she was hot. I'm sorry.
I don't like a perm. Perms really bother me.
And when she was alone, she was a little sensitive about things.
Let me see.
What?
She sang a little song about how sensitive she was.
What was the song?
There are worse things I can do, and she's got a hard, brittle shell over this tender little heart.
Poor Riz.
Poor Riz.
Should we play one, guys?
I wouldn't mind hearing that, because I haven't heard that in years. It begins and ends with beauty school dropout for me.
How did she have a bun in the oven when she was 2 years into menopause, by the way? Old cast.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at her standing there, a little sad looking.
What I was telling you about.
Oh, see, they gossip about her.
The whore.
Mean Girls.
Worst things I could do.
Oh, yeah, I remember this.
Boy.
Then go with the boy or two.
Patty Simcox for Carnival Queen.
Even though the neighborhood
Like a
thinks
tranny.
I'm trashy and no good.
Oh,
Great. She has hair like one of the Strokes.
Bay City Rollers hair. Yeah. She's supposed to be just a high school girl.
yeah.
Yeah,
Look
exactly.
at her. Jesus Christ. She's 30. She's got a little bit of a bunt going on. Now we'll just tear apart Stockard Channing from 40 years ago.
Exactly.
Fantastic in this. What are you talking about?
I know. I like to go with mutton chops.
For the love of God. Don't you dare.
Wearing a football helmet with no face mask.
No. That is every man's doom right there.
No, she's a girl that would fucking eat your ass because she had to get you to call again.
That's what she did to Kaniki.
Stockard Channing, First Lady on West Wing.
No one's safe.
God damn it.
She's not that bad. I mean, big dark eyebrows.
Oh, no.
It's not believable as a high school girl, though.
No.
I don't. None of them are, but it doesn't matter.
None of them are.
Travolta was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember how sexy Sandy got at the end?
Holy crap.
She had nothing. She had no legs, no ass. She's in those leather pants.
And her I didn't like when she permed
good.
her hair. I thought it stunk.
Yeah.
That was
Tell
terrible.
me about it, stud.
Did she say that?
Of course she did.
Oh, yuck.
She put the cigarette out.
Stud.
Then they went on to the Shake Shack.
Yeah.
What's wrong with Sam? He's laughing. What's wrong?
I think it's about time that the Opie and Anthony show analyzed Grease.
It really is.
It's been a long time coming.
It's, yeah. Well.
Come on, big finish. Bring it home. Bring it home, Stockard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now she comes back around and doesn't care anymore.
Oh, go get Kaniki.
Is that Kaniki?
That's Kaniki driving off in Grease Lightning.
Oh, God.
John Travolta's head comes up from his lap.
Oops, we're gonna have to
not good.
shoot that.
Well, there is a kind of a gay subtext between those two characters. They keep bringing it up. Like they'll hug a little too long and then stop and start combing their hair
get away from each other. But and him being his second and really kind of.
What's
his
that mean? His
lieutenant.
second?
His like guy,
for the drag race
for the big race down at Thunder Road.
Hey.
Jesus Christ, I know a lot about that.
You sure do. You fucking executive producer.
You know a lot about musicals. How do you?
I know.
Well, let's talk about Pippin now, guys.
It is fabulous. There's a video clip I put up of a while ago of when I first got little Beavis, my little cat, and he was eating, and I videoed him, and in the background you could hear Grease is on TV.
This is great.
Just you faggot.
There are dowagers who don't put up as many cat pictures as you do on Twitter, for God's sake.
I love the little Beavis.
Which one is it? I got to hear this now.
I think it's the one where he's got a fuckload of food. He's a very little kitten.
Yeah, the one,
he's got a shitload of food.
Go to the video. It's titled "Lonely Old Queen."
Yes,
Beavis and I were watching Oklahoma again. That's a wonderful show. I wish they would bring that back.
7 brides for 7 brothers.
Don't even get me started, honey. Beavis, bring mommy her slippers. Beavis, come here, honey. For the love of God, guys.
Yeah.
Sam, where is it?
I don't know, Sam.
That's all right.
Not, well.
Why not?
What are you going to do?
Oh, boy, the show really tanked when we couldn't find the right cat video.
Yes, I know, because there's so many. Little beef.
Little beef.
He was eating. I don't know.
My little beef. He thinks he's a person.
He's a darling.
You want to hear something really smart that I said when I was a boy?
Oh, boy, here we
Jimmy.
go.
I was very young, and my cat, John.
Is it the one you farted in his face?
That was the same cat, but different thing. And someone had said something about, because he was a very lovely cat. And someone said he had great personality, and I said, no, he has catnality.
Ooh, okay, that's pretty bad.
I want to thank Patton Oswald for stopping by today.
Cute story about my youth.
He just killed it all morning. It was just amazing.
Catnality.
I heard it.
I replaced person with cat. So stupid.
Yeah.
Virginia Beach.
Yes, I'll be at the Funny Bones.
If you want to hear more, more real life humor like that, humor from real. He doesn't have to make this shit up, guys.
No,
he just lives his life and
take the terrible, awful things in my life. March 20th through 22nd. The good thing about Virginia Beach is, like a lot of you didn't know that story was coming. So luckily, plenty of seats available.
And make sure to watch my special on April 6th, Sunday, April 6th at 10 p.m. on Comedy Central, where there'll be a lot of Pattonality.
I like that. And that kind of combines both, because you are a person, so personality, and it rhymes with cat.
Thank you. Yes.
And the Wilbur Theater next week.
Theater next week.
They have you doing something in L.A. tomorrow. That's
really? Oh, I'm at the Largo, but it's sold out, so I didn't want to. The Largo.
So you got to fly out of here to do that
I'm flying out today.
Wow.
Off I go.
How big is Largo?
About 200, 250.
That's like what's the room that used to be here? That Jeff Singer used to
eating it at their.
Yes.
God, I can't think of it now.
I
can't think of it now.
Room downtown.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. It's great. It's a really fun show. And
do they still do it?
Here in New York?
Yeah.
I don't know. I know that I do one Saturday a month at the Largo because I don't want to wear out my welcome. That's such a good room. I don't want to.
Nice.
I don't want people to go, no, God, enough.
You tell stories there, right? People tell stories. Or
you kind of go up and, I mean, it's stand up, and then sometimes people do characters. There's a show first Saturday called The Thrilling Adventure Hour where it's like a live radio show, but it's brilliant. And then, oh God, Sarah Silverman does a regular show there now, and it's great. It's a really good room. Yeah.
I have this thing I'm doing where I'm pop locking, and I'm kind of trying to find a place to do that to music, and I tell stories.
If I'll DM you if you're ever in LA on a Saturday and I'm doing one of my shows. I'd love to have you on.
Yeah, I would love to do it.
Patton Oswald and Friends.
I hear the room is really good.
Oh God, it's so great. It's so great.
Whenever I hear that, I go up and shit the bed. I always do well when I hear it's a bloodbath in there.
Yeah, exactly. What's that? The Sklar brothers told me one time the worst thing they've ever heard. They were about to go on stage. It was a terrible room, and the guy that was coming off, all he said was, "Don't even breathe." Just like walk by, don't even give them a second. It is so bad.
Wow.
Don't even stop to breathe. Just go. And they're like, "Oh, this is going to be a fucking nightmare." When you hear that, don't even give them a second.
No pause. They'll just jump right in.
Yeah. So
fucking animals.
Let's start our weekends. What the hell, Pat?
Yeah,
Thank you, man.
Guys, thank you.
Please come back
Fun.
sooner than later.
Love having you on.
All right.
And Maria's show too on Tuesday. She was really, she's a lovely woman.
She was great.
And her husband was a very nice dude too. So I'm her boyfriend. So
What
good
channel
luck.
again?
Oxygen,
It
10
was
o'clock on
Oxygen.
Tuesdays. It's called. Is it Chasing Maria Menounos?
Chasing Maria Menounos.
We got a copy of the first show. Now I got to watch it.
I will watch it.
I feel bad we didn't watch it ahead of time, but we were
I just didn't yesterday. I got caught up in writing.
See you guys Monday.
Nice. Bye.
All right,
I want to
bye-bye.
take this opportunity to thank you all for listening to the Opie and Anthony show. You know, as always, we as people enjoy the things we enjoy, but all good things must come to an end. And as we reach the conclusion of the Opie and Anthony show, instead of being sad, we can look forward to what comes next. So remember to think of this not as the end of dirty jokes, but the beginning of a whole new set of ones. Till next time, take care of yourself and each other. Sam Roberts is coming up next.